welcome everybody to State Sports. It's your boy King hanging out with you here on this Monday night. Why Monday night? Monday Night Football's over. NFL playoffs are kind of done. What are we doing here? Well, it's college time, baby. It is the college football playoff national championship game between number one, the University of Indiana. Well, it's actually Indiana University. Yeah, I screwed that one up before. It's Indiana University and the 10th ranked University of Miami. There we go. See, we got the right that's that and the other thing here. And it appears that Miami will be receiving the ball first here. Nope. Hold on. See, this is the problem. This is why we got to make sure we get this done right. There we go. Now we got the possession arrow. Kickoff is away. Miami gets it, and they're going to have it all the way down at about the 28-yard line is where they're going to get marked there. And that is where we have first down and 10 for the Miami Hurricanes. Stand back. There's a hurricane coming through. Lloyd in the chat says, King, what's up? How you doing? ELS in the chat with us. Thank you so much for joining us. ELS and Lloyd, and if you're watching us as well, thank you so much. If you like anything about Stay Tuned Sports, this channel, my weird, terrible, balding hair that's getting long and kind of sticking up in the back looks terrible. Like any of it, please hit that like button, hit the share button, and also if you'd hit that subscribe button, that will help us out tremendously. Run here on first down for Miami, and they're going to get 9.5 yards on that run already. Bang, bang, boom. Just like that. Second and like half a yard here for the University of Miami Hurricanes. Mark Fletcher with the carry. Lloyd in the chat, he says, hey, I think Miami is going to be winning this game. He picks Miami. ELS, he is on the Hoosiers. Second down, Carson Beck throws. That's a bit of a screen pass there. And that's going to be good enough for a first down. Move the chains for the Miami Hurricanes. Lloyd says, I've heard that before, ELS. Right now, they're doing well. Malachi Tony, by the way, with the reception there. Good for 6 yards. Miami getting ready here. It's going to be another handoff. This time, not nearly as far. Only good for about 2 yards on that. Fletcher with the run again. Yeah, I thought this game was starting at 8 o'clock. I didn't think it was starting at like 7:50. I didn't think we were getting kickoff at 7:50. I didn't see that. ELS says, I have some Dr. Pepper Tic Tacs. There you go. I always like the orange ones. Oh, them shits were good. Good candy. I always like orange. I like citrus. 2nd and 8. Carson Beck. Boy, he has all day to throw this ball. Throws and out of bounds. Malachi Tony was the intended receiver. 3rd down and 8 coming up here for the Hurricanes. So I thought I had until 8 o'clock. I'm like, oh, I got 8 o'clock, man. I'm fine. We can just do this 8 o'clock. That's fine. I was like, oh, no. It's actually a different time. Whoopsie. That's what I get for not paying attention to things. Indiana defense crowd very loud in favor of Indiana. Thrown over the middle to Malachi Tony. He's going to be stopped at about the 48.5-yard line. But that's going to be short of the first down by about 5 yards. Good for only 3 yards on the pass. And the Hurricanes appear that they will have to punt away this ball. So early on, bit of a cagey affair. Seems like this will be a little field position game here. From Miami's part, Indiana going to get their first possession coming up here. ELS says, also, my sister knows one of the Indiana football players, number 97, Mario Landino. Gabagool. Punt is going to be fair caught down at the 5. So, again, this is where that field position game, as I was talking about, is going to come up. And we have that. Now, ELS, when you say your sister knows one of the Indiana football players, does she just know one of the Indiana football players? Or does she know one of the Indiana football players? If you know what I'm saying. You know, sometimes, yeah, listen, there's no wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. That's pretty good. That'd be pretty good, you know? You got an in. Maybe he does too. I don't know. I don't want to. I love you, ELS. I'll only mess with you. But yes, ladies and gentlemen, you are watching along with the national championship game here on Stay Tuned Sports with the Boy King. If you'd like to help us out here, please. A couple ways you can do that. Hit that like button, hit that share button, let people know that this channel exists. That certainly is a massive help. And if you haven't done so yet, or it's your first time here, please hit that subscribe button as you're on the road to 1,000 subscribers and hopefully being monetized here on this great and glorious platform known as YouTube. You want to help us out a little bit more directly, we have a link for our donation station and our merch store in the top of the chat and in the description below this video. I did not see that, Lloyd. I'll have to go check in the Discord. ELS in the chat then says, speaking about his sister, said she went to the same camp as Mario in Pennsylvania. Oh, so they spent just the whole time at like a summer camp or something? One time at band camp? Anyway, by the way, get ready for this because this is college football. So the amount of commercials here, like if you think the NFL's bad with commercials, college football is lousy with commercials. So, oh, in the live chat? Okay, then I wasn't. Yeah, I can go and check. I'll probably have time considering. It's a thing. You get a bunch of, Lord, when you think about it, having a bunch of hormonal teenagers all hanging out in hot, humid environments in the summer, all crowded together in little cabins. Like, what are people expecting is going to happen? The whole idea of like band camp and other camps like that is just like seems like it's made for that kind of situation there. You know what I mean? Like it's just kind of made for that. Now, see, Lloyd's asking the right questions. Lloyd's asking there, ELS about this Mario Landino. Is he actually any good? Your sister got any intel on there? Any good insider betting that you'd be able to do here? Mendoza on 1st and 10. He's going to throw, and they're going to get a little bit of a jump around there. Omar Cooper just doing a little whoop, little shifty work. And on 1st and 10, gets 11 yards. 1st down and 10 for the Hoosiers. Down to the 16-yard line. Well, now they're in college. The camp could have been from before there, Lloyd. And especially like if we're talking about American Pie, in American Pie they were in high school. Got 5 sacks this season. ELS is letting us know there. That's not bad. You know what? That's 5 more sacks than I have. Second and 9 after a 1-yard run from Hemby. Throw out of the backfield to Hemby again. This time it's only going to be for 2 yards. So now 3rd and 7. Coming up here for the Hoosiers. 11:04 remaining here in the first quarter. I haven't watched. I only saw the first American Pie. I actually saw it in theaters. Uh, I never watched any of the other sequels. I've just. It seems like one of those things, man, that just doesn't. You know what? Scream is the same thing. I've only ever watched the first Scream. I can't watch any of the other ones. I just can't get into it. Mendoza getting flushed out of the pocket, looks, throws. He's just going to throw this out of bounds, incomplete. And this is going to be a punt coming from Indiana, 4th and 8 coming up. And Miami will get the ball back. Oh, the Lions OC. I mean, you had a couple of really big names out there that you could have gotten, and you get the Arizona Cardinal offensive coordinator. Like, what about the Cardinals this year made you think, yeah, you know what, that offense is really good? Return for Miami. That's going to be up to, looks like pace 40, but we got a flag on the play. First flag of the game. Let's see what this is and who is it on. Malachi Tony on the return, by the way. Holding on Miami. Originally returned to the 41, but it's going to be 10 yards from the spot of the foul, so we'll see where they decide to move that. There's a 50-yard punt, returned for 9 yards to the 41, but the hold is going to move that back. Yeah, a lot of Detroit fans are not excited. A lot of people around the NFL are like, really? Is this who Detroit's going to get the offensive coordinator? Now, again, he might prove us all wrong, and it's like, oh, shit, he actually, he's got good pieces there, better pieces. He can work things. Maybe it'll turn out to be a surprise. On the surface, it doesn't look great, but, there's been plenty of hires that, when originally done, people questioned it and weren't really big or super high on it, and then it turns out to be okay. So, I mean, that's the thing. The big news today, obviously, was Sean McDermott being fired by the Buffalo Bills. And I've had a couple conversations with people, my father, some other people through the Discords, and just trying to get a gauge on this. Like here's my thought process with the whole Sean McDermott being fired by the Bills. If it feels like this decision, if I was in the position of Terry Pagula, and ownership and everybody there in Buffalo, like this feels like this had to be a conversation before even the playoffs started, maybe halfway through the season, maybe even before the season, of just like, listen, it's either we make that jump this year or we have to look at change. We have to do it this year or this year. It feels like that there had to be that sort of conversation in my mind. And that when the Bills once again were unable to get over that hump, get over that hurdle of getting to the Super Bowl, and this time not even getting to the Super Bowl, but just getting back to the AFC Championship game, and we're unable to do so in a year where the Chiefs aren't in the playoffs, in a year where the Ravens aren't in the playoffs, in a year where it seemed like the AFC was a little bit softer than normal, that you were going to be able to get maybe to your destination, to your goal, and not have it be as much of a trip up. That there was that previous conversation about it, and then they're like, you know what? Okay, we didn't make it, so now we are pulling the trigger. We're gonna. That's my thought process. Is like there's a linear, logical reasoning, and I could understand that. And if that's the way it happened, then I understand that. And then also, if that's the case, then you probably, hopefully, have an idea in your mind of who you would like to replace him. Somebody that you might, either a specific person or a specific type of coach that you already have in mind. If, on the other hand, this was done seat of the pants, willy-nilly, we just, you know what? I got really frustrated that we lost again, and I'm just going to fire him. All right, but who are you replacing him with? Who's out there? Who are you grabbing? I think that's the big question. 1st and 10 for Miami. Beck is going to hand this ball off, and that's going to be good for about 4 yards. That's going to be good for 4 or 5 yards. And it is indeed 4 yards. 2nd and 6 is where that's marked. Mark Fletcher with the carry. I'll say this, Elis. It's not that I was shocked, because I kind of thought that it was something that they might have done, considering how you don't want anything to end that way. Handoff here to Fletcher again. He's gonna maybe get a yard. And that's going to set up 3rd and 5 for the Hurricanes at their own 28-yard line. Lloyd in the chat says, yeah, I think they effed up. ELS, he said, when I saw the news, I was shocked. Didn't expect it. That's what I thought it was a possibility. I didn't see it as something completely out of left field. I was just kind of like, oh, wow, they actually did it. They actually did it. Oh, by the way, I never moved the possession arrow back over. ELS, it came to mind because he's got a previous relationship with Josh. I don't know. I don't know how you sell that to the fan base. You take a coach that's won 8 playoff games in the last 9 years, 8, 9 years, whatever it is. Incomplete pass on 3rd and 5. Indiana's defense holds. More on the pass protection there, and that's going to be, or pass defense, sorry. And that's going to be 4th and 5 for Miami, and they're going to punt. So we started off this game with 3 punts. Miami's first 2 possessions ending in punts, and Indiana's lone possession ending in a punt. And now we will see what Indiana does with their second possession. Kick is away. Fair catch called for, and a lot better position here for Indiana. They're going to be at the 30-yard line. Ela says, what is the best option for the Bills, though? Like I said, I don't know. Who do you start going? You got to start considering people. Do you want a first-timer, young up-and-comer? Do you want somebody who's a veteran presence? Apparently, it will not be Mike Tomlin. There was something I learned today from Tom Pelissero is that the Giants did kick the tires on Tomlin. They did call up Tomlin when he announced his resignation and said, just as a heads up, if we were to pursue you, if we were kind of interested, is it even worth it? Are you interested in coaching this year? And he told them straight up, no, I am fully committed to not coaching in 2026. So the Giants moved on, and I don't think they would get. You'd have to trade for him. What would Pittsburgh want to get from Buffalo? What is Buffalo willing to give up for him? I don't know. We got a flag on this play as Mendoza was running for his life and then had to just throw the ball away again. Why would he go? No, why would he go back? He's leaving the Steelers for a reason. So yeah, he's not going back to the Steelers. Holding, number 67, on Indiana. That's going to be a 10-yard penalty. Well, here's the thing. When you see him hooking underneath the arm, the official's going to see that. So Mendoza in the pocket, throws over the middle. That's going to be caught and not tackled, breaking a tackle, and then getting past the first down and more is Omar Cooper Jr. 25-yard gain, and that's going to put the ball at the 44-yard line for the Hoosiers as they have their first down of the game. First and 10. Mendoza in shotgun. It's going to hand off here. Kalon Black breaks through to the second level, tripped up, starts spinning around, and gets about 6 yards. 2nd and 4 coming up for Indiana. They are marked right at the 50-yard line, directly on the 50. ELS says the options that I have for the Bills would be Joe Brady, Chris Shula, Clint Kubiak, Jesse. I think either Joe Brady getting elevated from his position or Kubiak. I think Kubiak's a good one. Well, we got flags before the snap even happens. What do we got here, Mr. College officials? Prior to the snap, it's going to be a full start on Indiana. 5-yard penalty. Move them back. Still going to be 2nd down and 9 now. Lloyd asking, do you think that the Bills messed up? Like I said, I think it's one of the either ways. If they had this thought previously and they're set up for it and they're prepared for it, yes. Throw to the left side. It's going to be caught by Elijah Sarrett. And he's going to get 10 yards on that play, and that's going to get past first down marker. First down. Indiana. I wasn't sure if he had gotten across the marker. They give him the marker. First down, Indiana. And Mendoza takes a little bit of a shot there. Indiana gets up to the line here. Mendoza hands this one off to Hemby. Hemby gets 3 yards. 2nd and 7 upcoming. Inside Hurricane territory at the 42-yard line are the Hoosiers. I think if this was a knee-jerk reaction to firing Sean McDermott, I think that's a huge mistake. I think if it was understood that this was going to be the plan, if they didn't make it to the Super Bowl, if they didn't get to where they wanted to be this year, and that they felt like they were stagnating, kind of like how Pittsburgh felt they were doing with Tomlin, that they wanted to move on, I think then you're a little bit better prepared for it, and at least you got thoughts for it. Pass over the middle. That's going to be caught, and that's good for a first down, Indiana. Nine yards. Riley Nova. First of all, that is the blackest Polish man I've ever seen in my life. Riley Nowakowski. .525 and counting remaining here in the first quarter. Mendoza throws to the left. It is completed, but out of bounds. Good for about 5 or 6 yards. I don't know. With the Lions, you got to see what happens. I mean, this offensive coordinator hire, if this doesn't work out, they might get rid of Dan. 2nd and 5 upcoming. Mendoza back looks. Oh, got hit as he throws, and that is right into the ground. Oh, took a blindside hit right to the back. Did Mendoza. Torre just untouched off of the left edge. Mohamed Torre with a little bit of a terroristic threat there. My God. Whoa, just running people over. Kalon Black, 7-yard run. First down, Indiana at the 20-yard line of the Hurricanes. Lloyd says, King, so you think firing Wayne Fontes was the word? I remember back in the day, I was as a kid, I was confused why they fired Wayne Fontes. I always thought Wayne Fontes was a good coach. stutter step here for Kalon Black, but he's only going to get 2 yards. Gets it down to the 18-yard line. Mendoza he's getting rocked around here by this Miami defense. That's got to start being a penalty. I mean, Miami's that's a straight up, that's targeting. How is that not a flag? Mendoza, design run. He's going to get fall forward. He's going to get 2 yards on that one. 3rd and 6. Upcoming here for the Hoosiers now from the 16-yard line. Lloyd in the chat says that he thinks that the Lions firing Wayne Fontes contributed to Barry Sanders retiring early. Could be. I think, I mean, there was a lot of things. Barry kind of always wanted to be like Jim Brown. And his dad was, always held Jim Brown up to a different kind of standard. And I think Barry was always kind of like, he always had that feeling if he was going to retire early. Down towards the end zone. Incomplete. Charlie Becker was the intended receiver for the Hoosiers. That was closer to being intercepted by Miami than anything else. But that's going to set up the Hoosiers. 4th and 6 at the 16. And they are going to settle for a field goal attempt. Are the Hoosiers. First points of the national championship game. Will they be here? Snap, hold, kick is up. And it is good. And the Indiana Hoosiers will take an early, well, not rather early. It's 2:42 remaining in the first quarter. But it is the first lead of the game. 3-0. Indiana leads over the Miami Hurricanes here in the national championship game. As you see, Fernando Mendoza is nursing that cut, that hit that he took from a dirty play under the chin. And that's another reason why you don't root for Miami, because they're a bunch of dirty, cheating bastards. I don't know if I'm giving away too much by maybe what I'm wearing today. I don't know. Maybe I'm not. I'm being as impartial as I can be, and I will be. And again, this is not because someone's going to sit there and say, like, oh, you don't like it because they put Miami in over Notre Dame. Listen, Miami deserved to be in the national. It deserved to be in the playoffs. I said that from the jump. On those nights, I think it was on Conference Championship weekend, I said, to me, it feels like the question isn't Notre Dame and Miami. I thought the question was Notre Dame and Alabama. Because I said Notre Dame should have been in over Alabama. They did some weird ranking fuckery with that to make sure that Alabama was in because they took money from Greg Sankey, and Greg Sankey blackmailed and gave money to college football committee members. I mean, it's alleged, but it's alleged. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Say no more. Like we like. It's all but fact that we know that Greg Sankey did that to make sure that the SEC runner-up has to be in. It can't not be the SEC. You can't make it to the SEC championship game and not get into the college football playoffs. I'm Greg Sankey, and I love smelling my own farts. My thing with that was Notre Dame belonged over Alabama. That was my. And then you would have, well, now the question is it Alabama or Miami? And with those two, when you looked at all the data, all the metrics, I think Miami belonged in Alabama. So it should have been Notre Dame and Miami both in, Alabama out. But we know that whatever. So I just want people to understand that I don't hate Miami because of this year or I think they were in over us or not. No, I think they should have been in here. I hate Miami because I'm a Notre Dame fan, and I've hated Miami my entire life and will always hate Miami. He came in with the crown of the helmet and purposely hit him under. He 100% needs to be out of the game. He 100% needs to be out of the game. And the fact that they won't, that they're not, that they didn't call that or do anything with that is incredible. To the Heisman Trophy winner, no less. Indiana kicks the ball away here. Miami is going to take this, and they're going to return it to the 10, to the 15, to the 20, to the 25, down to the 26, and no further. I'm going to freshen up my coffee. I'll be right back. First and 10, Hurricanes. Hey, we had a kickoff, and then they're right back to a commercial. Eat shit, really, ESPN. They have to figure out how to limit the commercials during college football broadcasts. It is horrendous. Anyway, and I did see this before too. It's an interesting thought experiment here, ELS. ELS says there has been speculation, and this comes from communist Mike, our comrade Mike Florio, the communist. Comrade, thank you so much. He says that there's been speculation that the Ravens and the Raiders are in discussions about a possible trade that would send Lamar Jackson to the Raiders. That would be interesting. And yes, ELS, I think you're right on that too, by the way. Even though it has the NFL logo and it's meant for the NFL, after seeing that Fernando Mendoza getting hit under the chin by the targeting and nobody called it, you can buy your Fuck the Refs hoodies and T-shirts available right now over at the Stay Tuned Sports merch store. That's bit.ly/Stay Tuned merch. The link is also in the top of the chat and in the description below. Comes pre-pixelated, so you won't be breaking any local obscenity laws, but you will get the message across. Whether it's the NFL or college, no matter who it is, we all can agree. Fuck the Refs. Hoodies and T-shirts available right now. bit.ly/Stay Tuned merch, or just follow the link in the top of the chat or the description below. What a blockbuster trade that would be. Clearly, I think you would be, if you're doing that, if you're the Raiders and you're going to trade for Lamar Jackson, Baltimore's getting the number one pick, and it might be 1-for-1. It might be 1-for-1. You'd have to see. I mean, how would the Baltimore fan base take that? What would the Vegas? I think Vegas would be excited with it just because they would finally have something to sink their teeth into. Just like, oh, there's something. But here's the thing: if you're a Raiders fan, would you be more excited about having Lamar, who is good, can get you places, but maybe can't get you over that hump? And maybe the allure of Fernando Mendoza growing and being with your team is a little bit nicer to you. I mean, I think you're going to find people split on that, whether they would want Lamar or Mendoza. And if you're Baltimore, are you already looking at it like a situation, because Baltimore's doing some restructuring? We know that the Giants are going to completely restructure their organization, with John Harbaugh leading that way. You have the Bills saying they're starting to restructure. The Falcons have gone through a complete, not just football restructuring, but almost business model restructuring. They've restructured everything there in Atlanta. You have a lot of these teams doing full restructures and stuff. Maybe, that's part of it in Baltimore. They're going to say, yeah, we're restructuring and we're going to move on from Lamar. We just think we can't move on. We can't go any further from him. Oh, pass, tipped, almost caught, and then dropped. Incomplete. Alex Ballman was the intended receiver, the tight end for the Miami Hurricanes. Beck got it out there. It was tipped before it got to him. Then he still almost caught it, was hit, and then it just fell between three Indiana football players. Wow. A lot happening for one play to end up nothing happening. Incomplete. 2nd and 10. Beck is in shotgun. Takes the snap, looks, throws to his right side, and that's going to be incomplete. Indiana's defense starting to suffocate these Miami wide receivers. 3rd and 10 from the 26 for the Hurricanes. But you're right, because I do want to look that up. So I might have to go find Dr. Mike Florio here, a comrade in charge. Hoosiers here on 3rd and 10, trying to get Miami off the field, and they're going to do it. They sack Carson Beck all the way back at the 19-yard line. It's going to be 4th and 17, and it's going to be another punt here for the Miami Hurricanes.
But too bad your ass got sacked.
ELS in the chat says, I am happy today because the Michigan Tech Huskies are number 19 ranked in college hockey. Congratulations to Michigan Tech. Miami punts the ball away here. This one is going to take a nice Miami bounce to about the 26-yard line, and that is where Indiana will take over. They're going to mark it actually right at the 27, actually. I thought 26. They're actually marking it at the 27. First and 10. Indiana, Fernando Mendoza back in. That's fine, Lloyd. Lloyd checking in saying, I'm still here, just laying down. That's fine. You relax. Oh, no! That's going to be a loss. A big loss for the Indiana Hoosiers. -6 yards by Hemby as he gets tackled trying to get to the left side and try to cut up the left side. Unable to get around that corner. And Miami has it set up now for a 2nd and 16. Mendoza takes the snap. It's going to be another handoff here to Hemby, and he's only going to get a yard. That's going to make it 3rd and 15 from the 22. First appearance by our lovely queen, Taylor Swift. Thank you, Taylor, for gracing us here. So here we go. Big play coming up here. 30 seconds remaining. Clock is ticking. 3rd and 15. Mendoza's got trips to his right. He takes the snap. Going to get a screen here, and he's only going to get it up to about the 26. So it's going to be 4th and 11. And it feels like that's going to be the end of the first quarter. And it is indeed the end of the first quarter. So the second quarter will begin with a punt from Indiana facing a 4th and 10 from the 27. So they got back up to the original line of scrimmage, but they still got to punt the ball away. I did see that. I saw that picture in there in our Discord, Lloyd. And if you want to join our Discord, link is in the top of the chat or in description below. Oh, by the way, yeah, we're off the 22-yard line, so Taylor's got to go away. Sorry, Taylor. I did see that. It looked very delicious. That did look very delicious. Lloyd saying he had some leg of lamb, mashed potatoes, peas, carrots, onions, mushrooms with a little bit of bread. Obviously, all seasoned to perfection, said Lloyd. That's very good. Today I had some mixed vegetables. You know, you always got to have your mixed veggies. And some chicken strips, babe. That's all. Had the low carb breading on it. So, you know, because never mind the carbs, being Mr. Diabetic here. So you do a little of that, little mixed veggies, all made by the lovely, beautiful, wonderful Pepper Jack. And again, everything was nicely done. She adds her own little seasoning to stuff, to the vegetables and everything like that. Makes it wonderful, beautiful, lovely. So I hope everybody out there had a fantastic dinner. I hope everybody out there is having a fantastic time and enjoying this national championship game between Indiana and Miami. Indiana facing a fourth down in their own end from their own 27-yard line. They're going to have to punt the ball away. Let me go back to look and see if I can find that exact article that ELS was talking about, because I did see that earlier too. And I want to make sure I see it right. Let me see if I can find it by just searching for it. Hold on, let me see. Strawberry cobbler. I have never heard. I've cherry cobbler, blueberry cobbler, peach cobbler. I've never heard of strawberry cobbler. That I want. So here we go. It's going to be 4th and 11, actually from the 26. So they do mark it from the 26. Indiana kicks this ball away. Miami's going to get this, return it to their own 30, to their 31. Slips down. Does Tony. Tony's going to now go to the outside, and he's going to return it up to about the 41-yard line. So hell of a return there from Malachi Tony on what seemed like it was going to be a pretty dead play. Let's see. Did the butt touch? Nope, his butt's down, so they're going to move that back. Oh, I'm sure at that point it's almost a strawberry cheesecake at that point there, Lord. And there they go. They did kind of do a quick review, and they are moving that ball back to where Malachi Tony's butt cheeks did hit the turf. Handoff on first down, and that's going to be a gain of half a yard for Miami. No real movement on that one. Second down. Beck looks over the middle. He's got his receiver caught. Going to be about 3 yards short of the first down for the Hurricanes. Third down coming up for Miami. Third and 2. Hand off and nowhere. Oh, that's going to be 4th down for Miami. Indiana's defense just puts up an absolute stone wall and says no. And that's going to be 4th down, and the Hurricanes are going to have to punt. And Miami punts this ball away. Indiana fair catches at their own 15-yard line, and it'll be 1st and 10 from the 15 for the Indiana Hoosiers. When we come back from another commercial message, because there's going to be a whole lot of that. Now let me look at. Now I see there's Dove Cliveman here, but Dove is that's not a real source. That doesn't count. We do see some other people talking about it. I want to see if I can get a good quote from anybody that's worthwhile. Again, I don't know how to really take JPA either. Like JPA feels like Dove Cliveman as well. Same with Sportskeeda. Sportskeeda's not great. Now, here's the thing. And I'll bring this up, too. By the way, this comes from Pro Football Talk. And our favorite communist friend, Dr. Mike Florio here, says, every year the coaching carousel precedes the quarterback carousel. There's one quarterback who could turn this whole thing into a roller coaster. It's too early to assume Lamar Jackson will absolutely positively be back with the Ravens in 2026. He may not be thrilled with the ultimate selection of a head coach. Likewise, the team and Jackson may fail to get a mutually acceptable contract extension in place before the start of free agency. Or Jackson may simply be ready for a fresh start after 8 years with one team. Last month's column from Mike Preston of the Baltimore Sun, which stirred up things and which rang true in multiple ways, mentioned two potential destinations for Lamar Jackson: Miami and Las Vegas. The Tua Tagovailoa contract, which carries $54 million in guaranteed for 2026 and $99 million dead cap space, will make it very hard for the Dolphins to give Jackson a market-level deal, even if there's a sense in the league circles that he'd love to get back to his hometown of Miami. The Raiders, they're a different story. They have cap space, they presumably have the cash, and they hold the first overall pick in the draft. Some are wondering whether they would do that. The first pick, which would give the Ravens a straight shot at quarterback Fernando Mendoza, or the ability to retrade the pick for a king's ransom for the two-time MVP, who is now 29 and often injured. Whatever the cost, and it's unclear whether Jackson would have other suitors, given that no one called when he was available under the non-exclusive franchise tag 3 years ago. The Raiders arguably need to make a splash. Adding Jackson could lure other free agents to town, and it could go a long way getting current star players like Max Crosby and Brock Bowers to stop wondering whether their skills are being wasted with a perennial basement dweller. The key to a possible Jackson trade from the Raiders' perspective is minority owner Tom Brady. Although Brady managed somehow to avoid taking widespread public flack for the abject failure of the franchise in 2025, he's now front and center. If 2026 goes like 2025, Brady's leather glove and expensive watch ensemble will be finished off with a front office dunce cap. Of course, the Ravens would have to be willing to pull the trigger. More importantly, Jackson would largely control the process and the outcome. It is an interesting thought whether or not he would end up there. By the way, here we go. 1st and 10 for Indiana. That's going to be a catch and a first down to about the they say he stepped out only a yard after the first down marker. I thought he got to at least the 30. Instead, it's going to be at the 26. And a first down for Indiana. It's another first down, 12:30 remaining in the second quarter. Mendoza in shotgun. Play action, throws, incomplete. Knocked away at the last minute by the Miami Hurricane defense. And that's going to be 2nd down and 10. Surratt was the intended receiver there. Frederic with the defensive stop. 2nd and 10. Mendoza takes the snap, throws towards his right. That's going to be completed. And look at that. My man would not go down. It's going to be about 2 yards short of the first down. Good work on that point by that's by our black Polish man. What says that? Riley Nowakowski. They officially list it as 3rd and 1. It is 3rd and 2. I don't know what the television is talking about. That is a full 2 yards. How are you calling that 3rd and 1? That's a lying graphic. It's 3rd and 2, and it doesn't matter because it's a first down as a 4-yard gain, which gets it 2 yards past the first down mark. Like, I don't know what ESPN's graphic guys are doing there, but that was not 3rd and 1. Indiana has 7 first downs so far in this game. Miami, only 1. Indiana on 1st and 10. This is going to be a handoff and just can't get to that second level is Hemby. That's going to be a gain of a yard, 2nd and 9 from the 40 for Indiana University. Fighting Hoosiers. Another handoff to Hemby. This time he's going to get 3 yards. That's going to bring up 3rd and 6. Mendoza takes the snap. He's getting rushed. He throws. Knocked away. Indiana looking for a flag, and they're going to get one. What do we got here? Pass interference on Miami. And that's going to be a fresh set of downs and, 15 yards for the University of Indiana. Move the ball, move the chains. 1st and 10. Now, 1st and 10 from the 42 of the Hurricanes. That's going to be a handoff to Hemby, and he is going nowhere. The Miami Hurricanes defense has done a very good job of containing the Indiana run game so far in this first half. That's a loss of 4 yards, by the way. Now 2nd and 14, back at the near midfield, right at about the Miami 49-yard line is where they're going to mark that. High snap. They run it again with Hemby, and again he's going to get a yard, if that. 3rd and 13 now for Indiana. Just not able to get anything going on the run game with Hemby. Have the Hoosiers been able to do here? As we see some goofy-ass white kids cheering for the U. Indiana has taken their first time out of the half. So that's going to give ESPN a chance to put more commercials up, which, of course, is just exactly what they want. By the way, back to the whole Lamar Jackson 2, the Raiders scuttlebutt happening here. Earlier this week, Ravens owner Steve Biscotti explained that while Jackson will have input on eventual coaching hire, he has no power. I have the power. Gabago. And if you see Biscotti, man, he looks like he's buried a couple bodies in his day. As to Lamar's future in Baltimore, Lamar has the power as far as that goes. He has the power to refuse any and all offers the team may make on an extension, opting instead to play out the next 2 years, exit with a massive pile of dead money in his wake, and become a free agent. By the way, his contract has a no franchise tag clause. Jackson also has the power over any trade possibilities, since his contract includes a no trade clause. Obviously, that doesn't mean he can't be traded. It means he can only be traded if he chooses to waive it. In theory, the Raiders and the Ravens, or anyone else and the Ravens, could agree to the terms of a Lamar Jackson trade at any time, with the understanding that it will be finalized on March 11th, the first day of the league year. If Brady wants to take a big swing, and if Jackson is ready to take his bat and ball to a new city, it is something to keep an eye out on. If it's going to happen, it could and arguably should move quickly. With both the Raiders and Ravens looking for new coaches, Lamar's future will become a major factor in both searches. So that is an interesting thing to keep an eye out on if Lamar Jackson ends up getting traded, if he's going to be moving around here. So here we go, 3rd and 13 for Indiana coming up here. Mendoza's in shotgun. Hemby in the backfield with him. Oh, Miami went across. Free play. They took a shot, didn't get it. He took a shot, did Mendoza again. But that's going to be a 5-yard penalty. Replay the down. So they got him on the hard count there. There was really 2 of them. It was 4 and 18 there. We got a handover, and it's a big break. And finally, Indiana got something going in the run game. Oh, wow. Huge gain, 20 yards right up the middle for Kalon Black and the Indiana Hoosiers. And they've got a first down and 10 on the 23. Indiana moving fast here. Hurry up. They throw it out to the right side. Cooper catches that. He's going to get 4 yards on the reception. 2nd and 6 upcoming. They're going to mark it as 2nd and 7. Never mind. I thought he got 4 yards. They're only going to give him 3. Kalon Black has 14 rushes of 20 or more yards this season for the Indiana Hoosiers. From the 20, Mendoza, play action, throws. That's going to be caught. That's going to be a first down. Still in bounds. Did he get there? They say he did. Touchdown, Indiana Hoosiers. Charlie Becker with the 20-yard touchdown. Did he step? Ooh, that's coming back. He stepped out at about the 6-yard line. He stepped out at the 6. So it's going to be first and goal, Indiana from the 6. So touchdown is take the touchdown back. Take the touchdown back. You can see on the replay the side of the foot just grazes the white paint. And with that, it's still going to be first and goal. Waiting to see what, I mean, it's just, I don't know why it's going to take this long to review this. We've seen it already 5 times. Why is it going to take so long, officials? You see Becker, yep, and I think here comes the call, yep. First and goal, Indiana from the 6-yard line. Not the touchdown yet. Handoff is going to get a yard. Second and goal from the 5. Mendoza's in shotgun. Handoff to Black. Black gets it down to the 1. .6:22 remaining and counting. And we've got a timeout here from Miami taking their first timeout of the half. Whoa, did we have a goalie fight? We had a goalie fight in the NHL. Look at this. Bobrovsky in Florida. Who are they taking out? Is that the Leafs? Oh, Sharks. Nedeljkovic. Bobrovsky versus Nedeljkovic. That's some Eastern European bad blood between those two. Love a good goalie fight. Going to put the link into the chat in case anybody wants to check out a good goalie fight in hockey. Who doesn't like a good goalie fight? God, I love hockey. I hate these goddamn commercials. College football has too many. I hate these goddamn commercials. They are too many. Can we find a way between the networks and the sports to limit the goddamn commercials before I lose my shorts? Sorry, I'm just checking Twitter here, seeing if I can find anything. We got a goalie fight. We saw that today between the Sharks and the Panthers. By the way, it looks like the Sharks won that game, 4-1. Thank you so much for joining us here on Stay Tuned Sports, watching the national championship game between the University of Miami Hurricanes and the Indiana University Hoosiers. After a 74-minute timeout here, to make sure you get all the commercials in. Hand off, and that's a touchdown, Indiana Hoosiers. And the Hoosier, how you doing? Nice Hoosier cheer nation. Very nice to see you. Keep up the good work, ladies. Kick is up, and the extra point is good, and the Indiana Hoosiers have a 10-0 lead over the Miami Hurricanes here at the National Championship game at Hard Rock Stadium in Miami Gardens, Florida. Thank you so much for joining us here on Stay Tuned Sports. My name is King, hanging out with you here, just watching along here, having a good time, having fun. I certainly hope everybody else is having a great Monday night as well. Enjoying your Martin Luther King Jr. Day, wherever that may be, watching some NBA basketball. That's they had a lot of the games on. The Knicks didn't. I know that. I saw that. The Knicks did not have a good day today. But I certainly hope everybody else, if you got a day off work, you're chilling out, you're relaxing, I certainly hope that you're relaxing here watching the game wherever you may be and having a great time. If you want to help us out here on Stay Tuned Sports, all you have to do is please hit that like button, hit that share button, let the world know that this channel does exist. And of course, as always, if you haven't done so yet, or this is your first time here, please hit that subscribe button as we're on the road to 1,000 subscribers and hopefully being monetized here on this great and glorious platform known as YouTube. I always say, if you if you'd like to help us, hit the like button. But there's not really a like about this channel. You know what I mean? And I say it all the time. I was like, if you like anything about this, and why would you hit the like button? And that's very true. Why would you like anything about this? There's nothing to like here. But I thank you so much for watching along anyway. If you do, that's going to be a touchback on the kickoff in Miami. We'll get the ball. First and 10 from their own 25-yard line. 6:13 remaining here in the second quarter. Can Miami get something going here in this first half? Right now, they've been unable to do so at all. That last drive, I think it was Kirk Herbstreit brought up, Indiana ran 15 or 16 plays, while Miami has run 14 plays all game. They have one first down. Econ in the chat says, let's go Hoosiers. Handoff here for Miami on first down, and they're going to get 5 yards. On the run. Mark Fletcher with the carry for the Miami Hurricanes. Oh, we got a little pushing and shoving between an Indiana defensive player there, number 95. He's hot. He's heated. They are getting angry. They're still talking. They are jawing back and forth with each other. Ooh, the hatred, the heated rivalry between Miami and Indiana, really getting going here. He gets tripped up, and he's going to be down about 1.5 yards before the line of gain. Third down, and a long one coming up here for Miami. He got tripped up by a falling Indiana player. Kind of had a leg whip there as he went to the ground. And they are going to be stopped behind the line of scrimmage. No gain. If anything, it might have been a loss of 0.5 yard. Fourth down for Miami. Is Miami going to go for this on their own 34-yard line? Woo! Aggressive play call here from Cristobal. Miami is indeed going to go for it. 4th and 1. Play clock at 3, 2, 1. Miami snaps the ball. They hand it off. And I don't know if he got it. Where he's being spotted, he's short. They're going to say first down. Whoa. I would take a look at this. I don't think he got there before he's down. They're not even going to look at it? I don't think he got the. Wow. Throw over the middle, caught down now to the Indiana 40-yard line. He didn't make that first down. "25-yard pass to C.J. Daniels and Carson Beck. I don't think he made that first down. That's a rough call. That's a rough call. First down and 10 again, this time from the Indiana 40 after a very questionable first down call on a 4th and 1 play. Pass out of the backfield there to Malachi Tony. He's going to get 2 yards, 2nd down and 8 coming up for the Hurricanes. We are at 2:08. Will Miami run a play before the 2-minute warning? And they will not. 2-minute warning hits here at the national championship game in the first half. Indiana 10, Miami nothing. And they will hit another 76 minutes of commercial. I'm trying to see anybody else. Did no one have a reaction to that first down? I don't understand. I didn't see a look that showed that it was clearly a first down. I didn't see. Oof. And I'm just seeing a lot of people on Twitter. Yeah, Miami did not get that first down. Miami did get that first down. No surprise they didn't review it. I don't think so. No, they do like automatic challenges in college, I think. And it's like, how do you not have that one be called? Like, if again, I don't know what the structure for the reviews are in college. I think it all comes from like a review official upstairs, and that's what I mean. You look at that. How do you not at least call down to have a look at it? I don't understand, Pecan. I really don't. By the way, Pecan joining us in the chat. You want to join us in the chat too? It is open. Come in, say hi, say hello, say hey, doing, say I suck, whatever you want to do. I'm sure there's probably some guy from Twitter right now coming over here. Look at this fat bald bastard. Whatever, that's cool. I like you too, Sean. I hope you're having a great time watching along with us here for the National Championship game. But if you do want to join us in the chat, come in, say hi, say hello, say how you're doing. If you're on the desktop, make sure that you choose the live chat feature instead of the top chat feature. And, of course, as always, if you're on mobile, make sure when you see the chat room, if you're in the live chat, to put on see all messages instead of top messages on the little options button there. It's a little 2 lines with 2 balls on it. ELS, I know. I sent the link about the goalie fight. If you look up a little bit, ELS, that one I have there to the X Twitter link there is to that same goalie fight. Way ahead of you, ELS. I was ahead of you on that one. Jimbo was ahead of you yesterday. I'm ahead of you today. Look at that. Coming out of the 2-minute warning, it was a run for no yards by Mark Fletcher and the Miami Hurricanes. They now have 3rd down and 8 at the 38. Don't be sorry, ELS. ELS, I'm messing with you, man. Throws, that's tipped at the line, still caught. And it's going to be short by about 3 yards. Or 2 yards. 4th and 2 from the Hoosiers' 32. Will Miami go for it again? Miami is killing as much clock as they can, apparently, before they decide to go for it on 4th and 2 from the Indiana 32-yard line. And Miami's going to take their 2nd timeout. Lloyd says, ELS poke fun at him back. Yeah, it's not even poking fun. It's just like, we got the story ahead of you. Bye-bye. That's not really making fun of. What you do, Lloyd, is you go a little too hard. A lot like Travis Kelce when he's backstage at a Taylor Swift concert. You go a little too hard. So Miami brought that all the way down. They're actually going to kick a field goal here. Carter Davis on the field here. A little chunky boy. He takes the snap, hold, kick is up, and it is off the upright. And no good. Miami remains scoreless. And there's 33 seconds remaining on the clock here in the 2nd quarter. I did see that ELS a little bit ago where the funny thing about that, if you look at the comments underneath those videos and pictures of Harbaugh going to the Giants facility, I think his wife is with him as well. People were asking there, why is Joe Shane there? Why was Shane walking around with him for no reason? Some people said the Giants made sure that Shane was in the videos and pictures to let everybody kind of make him feel better and be like, see, no, Shane is here. Yeah, sure, he's still going to call Shane. No, Shane, yeah, he's a vital part of the process. He's not. It's okay though. Like that kind of seems what it looks like. First down and 10 for Indiana. That is going to be Hemby with a run for about 6 yards. 2nd and 4 upcoming. Last play of the first half here, I would imagine. Mendoza throws. That's going to be caught at the 50 with 3 seconds remaining. Indiana's going to take a timeout. They're at the 50, but only 3 seconds. But it's only 3 seconds. You can't do anything in 3 seconds. You can't get out of bounds, and stop the clock to put a kicker out there. Yeah, but this would be a 8-yarder if they wanted to try this. That's not going to work. Yeah, that was weird. I wondered why. If you run it on first down there, why not take the timeout? You had 2 timeouts. Then you're going to let the clock run down. Seems like you're going to let the clock run down. Then you throw it. You get a good chunk of yardage. But now there's only 3 seconds left on the clock. Well, they put 5 seconds up, but still, it's trips to the right here for Mendoza. 4, 3, 2, 1. He's going to chuck it up to the end zone. That bounces around. Incomplete, and that is the end of the first half of the national championship game. The Indiana Hoosiers 10, the Miami Hurricanes nothing, and Indiana will get the second half kickoff. That's interesting, ELS. ELS posted a little infographic in the chat there about the Lions' new offensive coordinator, Drew Petzing, from the Arizona Cardinals. Is that how you say his name, Petzing? What are you doing? I'm petting the dog over here. Yeah, this is just petting a very nice doggo. Lloyd says King forgot we existed. I don't forget you exist. I'm literally talking. I'm talking about ELS. Shut up, Lloyd. Drew Petzing, as offensive coordinator, the ranks for the Arizona Cardinals, they had 139.1 rushing yards per game, 4th in the NFL in 2023. In 2024, they had 144.2 rushing yards per game. That was 7th in the NFL. And they had 23.5 points per game. That was 12th in the NFL. This year, the Cardinals had 232.6 passing yards per game, which ranked 7th in the NFL. And that's actually pretty impressive because that was with Jacoby Brissett and Kyler Murray. So maybe you actually got something here, Lloyd. Maybe you've got something here. Lloyd says we are figments of your imagination. That actually wouldn't surprise me. if you guys you guys in the chat and like this whole thing, if this was all just kind of like a schizophrenic daydream, it would make a lot of sense, Lloyd. I'm not gonna lie, it probably would. Considering everything, it would make a lot of sense. By the way, let's run down some stats here before we take a little halftime break. See here, Carson Beck, 6 of 10 for the Miami Hurricanes, 49 total yards passing. Fernando Mendoza, 12 of 17 for $116. Black, the running back there for Indiana, he's got 7 carries for 43 yards. Fletcher for Miami, he leads the way for them, 9 carries, 26 yards. On the receiving end, Daniels, he has 2 receptions for 32 yards for the Miami Hurricanes, leading them. And Cooper, he's got 3 receptions for 39 yards. Fisher has the sack for the Indiana Hoosiers. And Mohamed Torre has 6 tackles, leading the way for the Miami Hurricanes. 3 of those are solo tackles. And Kamara has 4 for Indiana. 3 of those are solo tackles. Total yards in the game, Miami has 69. Indiana has 169. 69, so fun. Nice. Look at that. It's just a 69 fest in Miami, which, I mean, makes sense. If you're going to just be 69 and all over the place, Miami seems to be the best place to do that. Neither team with a turnover. Indiana has 11 first downs. Miami has 3, and honestly, one of them didn't deserve to be a first down. I don't think it was a first down, and that led to another first down. So really, in my mind, Miami has 1 earned first down, if we're going to be honest. Miami has 3 penalties for a total of 26 yards. Indiana has 2 penalties for 15 yards. Miami 0 for 6 on third downs. Indiana 4 for 7. And Indiana has 18 minutes and 9 seconds of possession, whereas Miami has 11 minutes and 51 seconds of possession. ELS says Miami has done nothing in this game. They have not. They have absolutely done nothing. The Indiana defense has been all over them. And if anything, like I said, the slight little bit that Miami was able to move the ball and actually do something was because of a first down call in which it wasn't a first down, and then they didn't review it at all. And it was, you saw the replay. There was nothing in that replay that showed that it was a first down. That makes you stop there and go, what? Why are we not even taking a look at that? We take a look at everything else and all the minutia in all these goddamn college games. That a critical 4th and 1 play that was deep in Miami's own end. We're not going to take a look at that as whether or not that was a first down or not. That's crazy. That's a little bit crazy. Look at my boy Marcus Freeman. Yeah. Go Irish. See him on the desk there at ESPN. Notre Dame's like, man, Marcus is out there like, Notre Dame would have been a lot better than this against Indiana. So maybe we're not winning, maybe we're not doing that, but we'd be better. We'd be better. You're right, Marcus. Move that over there. ELS says, let's go Notre Dame. You're a Wisconsin fan. Why are you saying let's go Notre Dame? You're a Badger. Lloyd says, King, thoughts on Bill and Ted? What do you mean, like the original movie? Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure? Like, yeah, I love that movie. I've loved that movie since I was a kid. And Bogus Journey. I haven't watched the new one. Face the Music. I haven't watched that one. Not yet, anyway. But I've watched. I grew up on Bill and Ted. Like, what are we talking about here? What are we even talking about here? ELS says, I like that. Well, thank you, ELS. Not when we play at Lambeau Field. Sorry, punch the microphone. Lloyd says, ELS, your Badger stink. You might be better here, though. I mean, you know, I think you'll be all right. I think you're going better. Lloyd says the new Bill and Ted is a must avoid. Why is the Bill and Ted's Face the Music must avoid? I heard it was actually I heard from, you know, people who watched it said it was good. Again, I didn't watch it, but they said it was. Who's the Luke Fickell? Is that your head coach there at Wisconsin? The one he was like at Cincinnati. He got Cincinnati to the playoff a couple years ago. Lloyd says, yeah, without George Carlin in the movie of Bill and Ted Face Music, it just feels... Well, I mean, I get it, but, you know, Rufus is dead, man. There's nothing you do about that. Says, no, he turned this organization from good to hot garbage. Well, we'll see. Maybe it needed a full tear down before it could be built up there, ELS. So we'll see what happens with Wisconsin this year, if I can even speak correctly, which I can't, as we all know that. Let's see. Well, how long have we got? Because these half times are long now. They didn't even start the countdown for the second quarter yet. Oh, geez. Let me see. Anything else we can quickly go over here before we hit the halftime break? Well, what's this? This seems to be an interesting little thing. I didn't hear about this. This is coming from our good friends over at Barstool. I and I don't know who Ian O'Connor said this, this comes from Barstool, but apparently a source is saying to ease the coach's concerns about the chain of command and operational structure, Chris Mara from the Giants had secretly met with John Harbaugh on Friday at an undisclosed location between New York and Baltimore. Two sources with knowledge of this meeting told The Athletic. Progress was made according to those sources. Harbaugh needed it in writing that he would report to John Mara and not to Shane, a fact that ran counter to the way the Giants have conducted their business in the past. New York had historically been a GM-centric organization, even with tough guy coaches and two-time champion Bill Parcells and Tom Coughlin. Harbaugh was pushing ownership to change to more of a coach-driven model, and it was taking time to get there. In fact, nothing was settled as late as Saturday morning, which is why there seemed to be a little bit of a delay. Harlan had the Titans on standby. One league source said if things fell apart at 1 p.m., it would not have been a surprise. Ooh, this is it. This is the story I needed to hear today. This goes from the article. This is Reegs from Barstool. I'll link it into the chat if you want to go read along. This is it. This is the story I needed to hear today as I battle parenting with kids being home, the Pats being ready to start another dynasty, and the NFC West being a power division. I needed to hear that the Giants were willing to go to an undisclosed location somewhere in the middle of Baltimore and New York for a secret meeting to close the deal. That's the shit a winning franchise does. That's the move you do when you're desperate for a coach that helps keep your franchise from being a joke. You go to somewhere like Cherry Hill or Wilmington, Delaware, or Bordentown, New Jersey to seal a deal. More importantly, if we have Chris Mara out here running the show, I'm intrigued. He was massive this entire search and getting Harbaugh to New York. He didn't care about hurting feelings or making sure that Harbaugh would report to John Mara and not Joe Shane. Don't like it? Oh, well, Joe, you're not as important these days. It's a new era in Giants football, one that better includes some games in December meaning something and not just the top pick in the draft. Make no mistake about it. If the Giants lost John Harbaugh to the Titans, it would be a massive shit show. It would have shown our hand, forced us to do into a weird corner, and hope that Kevin Stefanski or someone like that isn't pissed off being ignored for Harbaugh right off the bat. You can't lose a coach to the Titans when you're the New York Giants. One is a flagship program, a name everybody knows. The other is a team that people want to give up their alternate jersey to, the Texans. They do. Give them back the Oilers jersey, Titans. But now you know. But now you throw in a secret meeting at an undisclosed location, like it's some shitty war movie, and I have no choice but to declare the Giants already the winner of the 2026 offseason and the playoffs for next season. We're back, baby. That's an interesting take on it. But that seems to be, because again, it seemed like what we heard that whole time was the holdup was being having it in writing that Harbaugh wanted to kind of reorganize how things were done in the building for the Giants. So that makes sense of trying to make sure that he understood, because that's it. Everybody said like they had a good time at the meeting that they had in East Rutherford at the restaurant, and everybody was smiles and everybody shook hands and everybody was all great and blah blah blah. But that, he left the building, he was going back to Baltimore, and everybody was like, well, nothing is official, nothing is signed. We got rumors, but that's it. And then to see it come that it was really kind of nitty-gritty there for a while into like early Sunday, apparently, is when it finally got done, and then they finally started posting all the stuff on social media, and now we have the videos of him walking through the facility today and all that kind of stuff. So that's fantastic. That's fantastic. By the way, ELS says, if anybody wants a reaction to my Hafley becoming the Dolphins head coach, my reaction, not surprised when the Dolphins' new GM comes from the Packers. Hafley was going to be the Dolphins head coach. Yeah, no, you should have done you should do like a shorts thing or something on it. Post that up on your channel there, ELS. Tom Grossi isn't the only Packers fan on YouTube, ELS. You got to let him know. You got to put out your own stuff there. All right, let me go fix myself another cup of coffee. I'll be back here in just a moment. Still waiting for her to come back from halftime. I don't know what they're doing for the halftime show there, but we'll be back here in a moment. Indiana, 10-0 over Miami at halftime, and Indiana gets the ball first in the second half. See you in a minute. And we're back, and we're almost ready here for the start of the third quarter. The Hurricanes line up, they kick, and we are away. That's going to be out of the end zone. That hits, actually, that looks like it went through the uprights, which is more than the field goal kicker did. ELS in the chat says, King, saying that me and my cousin might be starting our own sports podcast on YouTube in the coming weeks. There you go, ELS. That's fantastic. That's great to hear. I like to hear that. And, hey, listen, you ever need an occasional guest to talk about weird New York Giants stuff or just a general hatred of officiating, I'm your guy. First and 10 from the 25. Mendoza hands this off. That's going to be Kalon Black, and he's going to get back up to the line of scrimmage. I mean, he was fighting like hell to get up to the line of scrimmage and got there. So I've never quite seen somebody fight so hard to get no yardage, but he did. Second and 10. Molly McGrath, how you doing? She is professionally attractive. Mendoza can't find anybody, and he is sacked. And that's going to be a 9-yard sack, 7-yard sack. They can't make up their mind.
But too bad your ass got sacked.
Loss of 7. Yeah. If Lloyd's not modding in here, I don't know if I would mod Lloyd. Oh, that's a face mask. And there's a flag down for it. That's going to be 15 yards and an automatic first down for Indiana. Miami held them. There was only going to be a couple-yard gain there on 3rd and 17. But there was a face mask in the backfield on the running back. And that's going to make it 15 and a first down. Lloyd says I mod other channels, and that is those channels' prerogative to have you as a moderator, Lloyd. And I'm glad that you have earned the trust and faith of those particular YouTube channels and chats that they would allow you to moderate their chat room. I do. I really do, and I think that's fantastic. And what Zach ELS said, that's something that would definitely have to be under consideration. Handoff here on 1st and 10 to Hembe, and he's, again, going to only get back to about the line of scrimmage. Second and a very long 9 is what they're going to call this. Oh, he's got liquid chalk. Mendoza looking, throws. He had a man that was open, but was getting kind of molested back there. No flag on that. Refs kind of keeping it in their pocket on this one. He's kind of getting pushed down. I don't know. That's fine. That's a fine no call. That's a fine no call. 3rd and 9 for the Hoosiers. Mendoza back in shotgun. He's looking to try to throw it, and he's not going to escape again. Second sack of this drive. And that's going to make it 4th and 17 back at the 31, and Indiana's going to have to punt.
But too bad your ass got sacked.
4th and 17. Punt is away. Miami's going to get their first possession of the second half. They catch that at their own 20, return it to the 25, to the 30, to the 35, to the 37 is where they will be forced out of bounds there. Malachi Tony on a return. 1st and 10 from the 37 for the Miami Hurricanes coming up here. Crafty in the chat says, a college stream and only 7 subs away from 300. Whoa, are we really only 700 away? Actually, I'm going to be honest, I have not been checking up on what the sub is or anything like that. I keep on saying we're on the road to 1,000, but I had no idea we were even close to 300. Oh, shit. Look at that, 293. I did not know that. I didn't expect that. Well, thank you, everybody who has been watching along with us. If you do like anything about this channel, and I don't know why you would, but if you do, thank you so much, and please hit that like button on this video. Make sure you hit the share button and let the world know that this channel exists. That certainly does help us a lot. And if you haven't done so yet, or this is your first time here, please hit that subscribe button and notification bell as we are on the road to 1,000 subscribers and hopefully being monetized on this great and glorious platform known as YouTube. Right now, we are sitting at 293, only 7 away from 300, which I wasn't aware we were at there. So thank you, Crafty, for giving me the heads up on that one. ELS says, I missed a one-person raid. Who'd I miss? Did somebody come in? Oh. Now let me go back in the chat and see if I can find somebody. Oh, I see. TuneLink Maine. Well, I want to thank TuneLink Maine for coming in here and having their raid. Even I don't care if it's a one-person raid or not. I'm not saying shit on anybody. Thank you so much, TuneLink Maine. If I can, let me see if I can find their channel, and I'll give them a bit of a shout-out. TuneLink Maine, which is at TuneLink Maine. They're doing a broadcast as well here for the college football national championship. They got a cute little picture of, it looks like a Christmas link there, so very nice. And yeah, they do some sports stuff. They do some other stuff here, but yeah, good. It was, I can't tell. Is he like Vietnamese, Filipino, something along those lines? I don't know if that's where he's from or if that's where he's doing anything like that, but yeah, a huge shout out to, I mean, he's got 4.97 thousand subscribers, so he's well over that 1,000 subscriber mark that I'm looking to get at. So, but to TuneLink Maine, thank you so very much. And if you want to go check out his channel at TuneLink Maine, there it is, at TuneLink Maine. Go check him out. Thank you very much. I know. Yeah, it's like a Christmas. He's got like a Christmassy link there. Lloyd says King needs to do college football streams next year. I was staying away from it because I wanted, I do have, Pepper Jack would be so upset with me if I just on every weekend was all football all the time and I didn't do anything with her, right? So I might do it next year, but what I'm going to have to do is then for everything between now, like the end of the Super Bowl and the start of next football season, every weekend is going to have to be like free and empty. Like I'm not going to be able to do anything because we're going to have to, cram everything that we would want to do together for then. And then for fall and winter, it would have to be doing this. So that's the thing is, do I do college football and pro football next year? Or do I have a healthy relationship with my wife? I don't know. Tough choice. We'll figure it out. 2nd and 5 here for Miami. And he breaks it loose. And he's gone to the 30, 20, 10, 5. Touchdown, Miami Hurricanes. Mark Fletcher Jr., 57 yards. And Miami is right back into the national championship game. Extra point is up. Extra point is good. And we have a 3-point national championship game once again. The Indiana Hoosiers lead 10-7 over the Miami Hurricanes after they just had Fletcher pull off a 57-yard touchdown run. He got through the initial blocks, and then it was over. Put on the Jets. He's gone. ALS in the chat says, we've got a game. Oh, Lord, Pepperjack has made it very clear she will never be on this stream. Voice-wise, anything else-wise, she just doesn't want to do it. She will not do it. I would love to. I would love to have Pepperjack on the stream with me, but that's not going to happen. And that's fine. You need help, Pepperjack? You sure? Okay. Pepperjack got an Instacart order. By the way, and I've said this before, if you're getting Instacart, is the meat okay? Okay, but it's not open. No, if it was open, this would be not as vacuum sealed, so you're good. If you do Instacart, like if you go and get Instacart, there like here, and I'll say, okay, let me rephrase all this. To anybody out there that may be watching that either works for Instacart or runs Instacart, if you're the CEO of Instacart, let me speak to you directly. Please start making it an option that if you get a shopper, you can choose the shopper you want. And what I mean by that is, I want to make sure that when I have somebody shopping my Instacart order, they are not an Arab male, number one. Can't say that. That's no. I'm saying this because they don't know how to fucking shop. I'm making a generalization, but a generalization through personal lived experience. They don't know how to shop. Here's what I want. I want a Hispanic woman, somewhere between 35 and 55, usually probably in the middle of the day, to do my Instacart shopping. Because you will get everything you want, exactly how you want, and packed in such a Tetris-like perfection precision that it will astonish you when you actually unpack the groceries that they deliver to you. So, to Mr. CEO at Instacart, whoever you may be, and if you're watching, thank you so very much. Get on that, please. Thank you. Kick is away for Miami. That's going to be out of the back of the end zone. It's going to be another touchback for the 25 for the Indiana Hoosiers. Oh, yeah? You want to do the tortillas again? That's nice. Mendoza. It's going to be a handoff here to Hemby. And Hemby now running off on himself there. Gets it all the way down to the 40-yard line. 15-yard gain. First down, Indiana. That's his first real big run of the night for Indiana for Hemby. Hey, Chip's in here. Says, be prepared. You might get pinged a lot. I have been hearing. I just heard a ping now. Yeah, and that's fine. But now I'm wondering what it might be for. So 1st down and 10. This is going to be Hemby again, and he's going to get 4 yards on the carry. 2nd and 6 upcoming. Okay, I see. I do see that. I read a little bit before, by the way, Chip, that about the secret meeting. Apparently, the rumored secret meeting that happened between Chris Mara and John Harbaugh that kind of solidified everything and made sure that it's you don't have to report to Shane. You're reporting to Mara directly, and we're kind of changing the whole Giants office structure, the entire organizational structure, as it were, for the Giants. So I did read up on that as well. The notification I got there in the Discord was about the expectation that the Giants are going to give Joe Shane an extension, a contract extension, after the draft in April. 3rd and 3 coming up here for Indiana. Mendoza takes the snap, throws over the middle. It is caught and then dropped, and then they're going to say incomplete. They're going to say he never had possession, did Surratt. I think that's a catch. Does he have that while he's down? I don't know. And because of that, now Indiana's going to have to punt again. Miami, they can take the lead on this drive. They can tie it or take the lead. Fair catch at the 12-yard line, and that's where Miami will take over. Crafty in the chat says, John Harbaugh woke up this morning saying, wait, the Bills have an opening? Here's the thing. I don't know if that was so much with Harbaugh. I really don't. I think if you're Stefanski, you're looking to see, did I actually sign the contract? Is the ink on it dry? Is there a way I can we suck the ink out of the paper? Like, what can we do here? Like, if I'm Stefanski, I'm looking to see if I can get up to Buffalo. Honestly, that's number one. I grow fighting in the chat says Hurricanes. Great to see you. It's great. I don't know why it took so long for everybody to kind of get into the chat here. Because again, I grow fighting and Kenneth and a lot of the other guys were the ones jumping in and telling me like, oh, you should do the college game tomorrow. You should do the college game tomorrow. We're in the 3rd quarter and we just see I grow fighting in here now. But it is great to see you guys in here. Thank you so much for joining us. And if you are just joining us right now, thank you so much for watching along with the National Championship game with the boy King here on Stay Tuned Sports. If you like any part of this broadcast, and I don't know why you would, it is a straight-up horrible amateurish affair. But if you do, hit that like button. Certainly does help us out. Hit that share button. Let the world know that we exist. And, of course, as always, if you haven't done so yet or this is your first time here, please hit that subscribe and notification bell. We're on the road to 1,000, baby. We're on the road to 1,000 subscribers, and hopefully getting monetized here on this great and glorious platform known as YouTube right now. It was just made aware to me we are only 7 subs away from 300. So, slowly but surely, we're running up that hill, like Kate Bush told us so many times during Stranger Things. Are you sure you don't need assistance, Pepper Jack? Oh, you done? They just gave you bread? You didn't order bread, and they just came with bread. So we didn't get. So he missed the cheese, but got you bread. And we already bought bread that you had for yourself. I don't eat bread because I don't have the carbs. So freezing the bread's probably a good idea. But this is what Instacart. I think you got someone else's bread. Now they're out of bread. But you know what? Nobody got cheese because that son of a bitch couldn't be asked to go to the deli and order a pound of goddamn Land O'Lakes. Son of a bitch. Crafty says, a horrible amateurish affair, so it's coached by Jonathan Gannon. We're not, if Jonathan Gannon was a YouTube sports watch-along channel, it would be Stay Tuned Sports. The Jonathan Gannon of YouTube channels. Stay tuned for. That's our new tagline right there. Print it. Put it on a shirt. First and 10 for Miami. Second and 10 for Miami, as it's going to be stuffed right at the line of scrimmage. Lloyd says Instacart is cursed. Instacart is cursed, like I said. Instacart has to ban men from shopping. Men cannot be Instacart shoppers. That's rule one. Whenever you get Instacart, it's always, if you got a man, and especially if it's an Arab man, it's the worst. Men can't shop as it is. Arab men shop worse than any other men. I don't know why, but it is a significant drop. You have your Hispanic Latino women, like I said, 35 to 55. That kind of age range, Hispanic women, just the best Instacart shoppers. No doubt, no question, 1,000%. Then you have your other regular women, whether they be white, black, Asian, whatever. They will all, whatever your racial category, age category, usually right underneath the Hispanic women, that's where you have them. That should be the absolute cutoff. Because then you start getting into men. And men can't shop for shit. And it's just, it's every time on Instacart. Throw on 3rd and 9, incomplete. And Miami's going to have to punt from deep within their own end on the 13-yard line. Instacart, it's every time. It's every time. And, if it's a one-off and everything like that, that's fine. No, this is every time. And this is now, 5, 6, 7 years that me and Pepperjack have been using Instacart on and off over that time. It's every time. That's how I think that's how we've, is it empirical data? It's more anecdotal data, but it never fails. Is it wrong if it never fails? I don't think so. I think those particular metrics line up fairly well. I do. Here's the thing. I don't mind. I don't mind grocery shopping. I do like. It's an okay experience. But I'm also very much a direct shopper. If I will look for something, I will try to find something. If it is not in the area where it should be or know where it is, maybe I don't. That could be a case where I don't know where it is, and I think a lot of men are like that as well. Oh, Mendoza is going to be sacked again. 3rd sack of the second half already for Miami. And that's going to be an 8-yard sack on Mendoza. Pushes them all the way back to their own 35-yard line.
But too bad your ass got sacked.
Drive started at the 43, now at the 35. 2nd down and 18 coming up for the Hoosiers. Mendoza in shotgun. Going to be a running play here. That's going to be Black, and Black is going to get it back up to the 42. That's going to be 3rd and 12. Miami's defense hopped up on what could be cocaine, allegedly. I have no idea. Indiana. Mendoza goes up to the line, calls out a new play. He's got trips out to the right. Play clock at 5. Mendoza takes the snap. He throws, and it's going to be incomplete. Sarrett was looking for a flag, did not get one. Incomplete. And it's going to be 4th and 12, and Indiana's going to have to punt. Let's see. Was there flag worthy here? Wow. Wow. He's grabbing him the whole way. These refs are. They are going to, if this is how they're going to call it, that's fine, but it has to be called this way all game, the whole game, and both ways. It has to be. So now the punt is away. And Miami's going to field that ball inside their own 10. It's going to be dropped down at the 7. So 1st and 10 for Miami at their own 7-yard line. 6:24 remaining in the third quarter. By the way, this comes from Mark Mask from the Washington Post. Brian Flores is believed to be a serious contender for the Steelers' head coaching job. He previously worked for the Steelers as their linebackers coach under Mike Tomlin before his successful defensive coordinator stint with the Minnesota Vikings. So, there's a chance that Brian Flores will be on his way to be the Steelers head coach. And that's kind of something I think that was, like, it made sense when you started looking out there, like who could have and who would take the next Steelers head coaching job. I think Brian Flores was. He just seems to. He seems to fit kind of how the Steelers organization is, how it's run, how the Rudy's like he's that style of coach that I think the Rooney's like. That is just it's just very Steelers-esque, if you will. So I think Flores is. He was always one I thought of when they said like who are the Steelers going to get? Who's somebody that they want to get? I think Brian Flores would fit. What the hell is this? Huh. Lloyd says, "Did I miss a pick six? I don't believe you did. What, in this game? No. Why? What makes you think there's a pick six?" Handoff from the 7 for Miami. That's going to be a gain of 3 to the 10. 2nd down and 7 upcoming. Carson Beck throws, and that is tipped away, incomplete. Indiana's defense jumps right in on that one. Third down, 7 yards to go. Miami. Carson Beck over the middle. That's going to be caught, and it's going to be fourth down. He only gets up to about the 15-yard line. It's going to be 2 yards short. 4th and 2 from the 15-yard line. And Miami is going to punt the ball away. Oh, it's blocked! Indiana blocked it, and they recover it. Touchdown! Indiana! Special teams touchdown! Oh, ho, ho, ho! And the special teams for the Hoosiers step up. Oh, my! And just like that, Miami seemed like they're right back in the game. We have a couple of punts here or there. And then Indiana blocks a punt deep in Miami territory, recovers it in the end zone. And that is a touchdown. Who's yours? Oh, wow. Snap, hold, kick, up is off the upright, and throw! Wow, everything coming up Hoosiers here, 17-7. A 10-point lead once again for Indiana with 5:04 remaining. Oh, wow. Kamara, who's had a sack in this game, I believe, now gets a blocked punt. Wow. What a swing. What a momentum swing. And just when you think Miami got the momentum swing back with that 57-yard touchdown run, now it swings right back to Indiana with that blocked punt touchdown. And now the kickoff returned from Miami from their 5-yard line. And now they're going to get it down to, where are they? This 18? 18, 19-yard line? Up to the 19. There we see Fernando Mendoza's family. Is that his mom? His mom's kind of a MILF. First and 10, back. He's got time to throw. He completes that. That's going to be Fletcher. Gets it down for an 8-yard gain. 2nd and 2 from the 27. I mean, you could have called holding on that play, but it seems like the officials are kind of keeping the flags in the pocket, which I don't mind. As long as I said they keep it for both teams, and it seems like so far it has been even as far as that goes. That's a massive hold right there at the spot of the run. Like, I get being a little lenient, but you should probably, like, when you see a player getting spun around because of a hold, perhaps throw the flag. 1st and 10, though. Like, look at that. Like, that's a straight-up hold. And, well, I mean, we complain if they throw too many flags. We complain if they don't throw enough. We're never happy, us fans. Beck, back to throw. Got a man, and he's hit. Incomplete. D'Angelo Pons hits the receiver as soon as the ball gets there. Incomplete. Thank you, ELS. Devils and Flames tied at 1 in the second period right now. We've got a run here from Fletcher. That's going to be good for 4 yards. Apologize, not Fletcher. Chamar Brown. Chamar Brown with the carry. 3rd and 6 for the Hurricanes from their own 41-yard line. Like to see the Devils get string a couple wins here before the Olympic break, ELS. That would be big for the Devils. Back to throw. Escaping the pressure, running to his right. Now he's going to run back to his left. Now he stops, throws over the middle. Caught! And C.J. Daniels gets that reception, and they are now in Indiana territory. And again, a lot of offensive holding, but no calls from the officials. 24-yard gain. It was 1-0 Devils, but they scored as soon as you went to go do the update. Okay, well, so now we know that you giving an update is bad luck, Elis. That was Miami's first third down conversion of the game, by the way. 1st and 10 for Miami from the 35 of Indiana. What are they saying with this? Was this a catching down or was it no catch? They're going to say his knee was down before he got up to run, so only a 1-yard pass, 2nd and 9. I hate that rule in college football. Like, that's terrible. Like, he's not touched. I hate that rule. College football, that's one thing they definitely have to change. Get rid of that. Oh, well, if you're down at all, any part of you down and you're not touched, like, that's anti-football. You have to be at least contacted down. Who gets the tackle in that situation? Nobody? Like, that's what I mean. You have to tackle somebody to the ground. Malachi Toney up the left side. Huge gain to about the 11 or 12-yard line of Indiana. 1st down, Miami, and they are moving this ball here. 1st and 10 from the Hoosiers 12. Oh, Kadri, that piece of shit. He scored that goal for the Flames? All right, well. No accounting for taste. .101. 1 minute and counting remaining in the third quarter of the national championship game. Beck hands this off to Fletcher. He gets it down to the 9-yard line. 2nd and 7 upcoming. ELS is gracing us here with the scores from around the NHL. The Flyers 2-1 over the Vegas Golden Knights. Currently, there's 6 minutes in the third period. Winnipeg losing to Chicago 1-0 at the end of the second. Vancouver beating the Islanders 1-0 in the first. Early in the first. And the Rangers early in the first as well, up 1-0 on the Anaheim Mighty Ducks. Beck hands this off. That's going to be down to the 3-yard line. It's going to be, what are they going to call this? 3rd and 1 at the 3. And that is going to be the end of the third quarter, ladies and gentlemen. End of the third quarter, which means it is the fourth quarter, which means you know what that means. You see everybody on the sidelines do it, coaches, staff, players. They throw the fours up. Why do they do that? Because they want to show themselves, they want to show their fellow teammates, their staff members, and their coaches that they are dedicated to all four quarters. Are you dedicated to all four quarters? Of course you are. That's why you got to throw the fours up. 1, 2, 3, 4. Get them up there in the chats, however you want to do it. Roman numerals, tally marks, the number 4, a superscript 4, emojis. Don't care how you do it, throw the fours up. You know what? Even Taylor Swift, the lovely, the beautiful, the ones that we're a big fan of here, Taylor Swift, she throws the fours up for you. She's got the fours up. She's dedicated for all four. Are you? I certainly hope you are. And thank you so much for being dedicated to all four quarters with us here on Stay Tuned Sports. My name is King. If you like anything about this broadcast, even if it is just the wonderful, the beautiful Taylor Swift over there, please hit that like button. I mean, it helps, I think. I don't know how the algorithm really works there anymore, but I think the like button does help. You know what really does help? Hitting that share button. Letting the world know that this channel exists is a huge, huge help, and I certainly do appreciate it. Thank you so much. And, of course, as always, if you haven't done so yet, or this is your first time here, please hit that subscribe button, as we are, so close to hitting 300, and we're on the road to 1,000 subscribers to hopefully be monetized here on this great and glorious platform known as YouTube. Pecan's got his fours up there. Also has the 4 Taylor Hard-Ons in there. Great to see it. Pecan, thank you so very much. ELS has got his 4s in there. Lloyd has his superscript 4 in there. Thank you all so much, so much, so much. ELS giving us some updates here from the NBA, by the way. Says Boston is currently trailing Detroit 96-91 with 5 minutes in the fourth quarter. And Miami and Golden State have just tipped off their game in San Francisco. So that's way too early in there to start doing. I know the Knicks got their ass kicked. I'm just not into the NBA. I'm not a big NBA guy, but I did notice that as I was flipping the channels today. I was like, oh, wow, Knicks are getting their ass kicked, huh? Okay. Bye, Taylor. See you later. La-da-da-doo, la-da-da-doo. All the Baltimore Ravens fan accounts on Twitter are already fighting back against the Lamar Jackson being traded rumors. So that makes me believe more than ever that he might get traded. 3rd and 1 for the Miami Hurricanes from the 3.5-yard line. Beck hands this one off to Fletcher, and he can just walk in untouched. Touchdown, Miami Hurricanes. And just like that, the Hurricanes are an extra point away from making this a 3-point game once again. 13-17. 13, that's why Taylor's up on the screen. 13 or 22, you will always see Taylor pop up. Snap, hold, kick is up, and it is good. And we've got a 3-point game here once again. The Indiana Hoosiers, 17. The Miami Hurricanes, 14. We have just started the fourth quarter, ladies and gentlemen. Who will win the national championship game? We're going to find out in just about 2.5 hours. It's a little under 15 minutes of game time, but because of the way college football allows TV commercials to take place during their game, this will take about 2.5 hours to get done. So we'll be done about past midnight, 12:30 a.m. perhaps. And that only took 3 seconds. 14:57 left. We got a whole quarter to play here. And that's going to be out of the end zone. Touchback. Indiana will get the ball to 25-yard line. ELS says, King, I found a hockey team was better than the Devils. Would you like to know who? Stop. ELS, stop it. Stop it. Stop. You're not good at this. You're not good at this. You're not good at this. Is it the Michigan Tech Huskies? Mendoza and Indiana in the huddle. Mendoza has had 3 pass attempts in the second half. He suffered 3 sacks. Can he get something going? First down. 2-yard gain. That's it. 2nd and 8 from the 27 now for Indiana. The Miami defense has clamped down on this Hoosiers offense in the second half. Great adjustments made by Miami. You have to admit that. The Northern Michigan Wildcats, they are currently 1-23. Oh, wow. They're the Rangers of college hockey, huh? Kenneth, I took you to the fourth quarter to get here. Hand off, and look at Black go. Keelan Black runs 13 yards right up the middle. Did I say 13? Yes, I did. Hi, Taylor. How are you? Kenneth in the chat says, hey, my friend, how are you doing tonight? I am doing good tonight, as are we, Kenneth, as we've got a great national championship game going on here. 17-14. The Indiana Hoosiers lead currently over the Miami Hurricanes. 1st and 10 from the 40-yard line. Mendoza looks, throws, incomplete. He was looking for Cooper, and it was knocked away by O'Connor right at the last second. 2nd and 10 from the 40. ELS says that the Northern Michigan Wildcats, they are currently 1-23 in hockey. In conference, they're 1-15, and they have not won a game at home yet this season. Trips to the left here for Mendoza. Throws. That's completed. And, boy, he's going to burn himself all the way up to the Miami Hurricanes 41-yard line. First down. Indiana Hoosiers as they move the chains as Fernando Mendoza gets his first completion of the second half. First and 10 from the Miami Hurricanes. 41 coming up here for Indiana. Mendoza is going to pull it down and run it himself and get a yard. Don't know what that was, but that wasn't good. So here we go. 2nd and 9 for Indiana. There's a handoff to Hembo. Hembo's going to get it down to the 37-yard line. Going to be good for about a 4-yard gain. And 3rd and 5 is going to be the official spot here for Indiana. A lot of Hoosiers there at Hard Rock Stadium. Indiana's been 0 for 3 on third downs in the second half. They were 4 for 7 in the first half. Miami's defense has been a big difference in this second half. Can Indiana break that trend? Mendoza steps back, looks, throws. He's got a deep ball. He's got a man, and he was looking the wrong way. He had a man, and he was looking the wrong way. Incomplete. 4th and 5. He is holding, and the officials have not called any pass interference calls here, except for, I think there was one very obvious one, but they've had other ones here where they're just holding people. And Indiana, kind of in that no man's land, they're going to go for it here on 4th and 5. They're going to take a timeout here. Play clock was running down before they made a decision. So Indiana takes their first timeout of the second half. ELS says, for some reason, and I don't know why, the Northern Michigan Wildcats played Ohio State twice, and they lost both of those games. Yeah, but, I mean, because that's the other thing, too. Like, you think about some of these, like, the Big Ten, like, hockey-wise, they're, like, fairly new, and I think a lot of the teams that you would think are Big Ten are still, like, in other hockey conferences. Has the Big Ten started a hockey conference yet? And are they going along with it? Because I think because for a while, like, it wasn't there. But then you got Penn State in hockey. They started, like, Ohio State started investing more in hockey. Because before that, it was just like Michigan. Like, Michigan played hockey. I think maybe Michigan State did a little bit, but mostly like Michigan. Stuff like that. I Grow Fighting in the chat says the U is back. Game's not over yet, I Grow. It is not over yet. By the way, the Ravens are planning to bring in Joe Brady, the offensive coordinator for the Bills, this week for a second interview for their head coaching job. Just checking Twitter to see if I have any more news here. Okay, 4th and 5. We are back from all the commercial timeouts here. 11:28, 4th and 5. Indiana going for it. They don't really have a long-distance field goal kicker. He apparently has been injured for a while. So here we go. Mendoza takes the snap. He's back. He throws. He's got a man throw, and he catches it. Wow! He had to go back for it, but he got it. Oh, wow. Back shoulder throw. That is a catch, and he's down in bounds. He was trying to make sure his elbow, his ass, everything was inside and lands on the green. He does. It's good. First down Indiana. They are all the way down at the Miami 18-yard line now. They are in the red zone. 1st and 10. Mendoza. Handoff here. And that's going to be good for 5 yards or so. Black on the carry. Kalon Black, 13 carries for 73 yards in this game. Man, what happened to Notre Dame hockey used to be good. They ain't good this year. What the fuck happened to Notre Dame? 2nd and 5, handoff to Black again. This time he's only going to get about 2 yards. So 3rd and 3. I'm going to say 3rd and 4. Mendoza looks, throws for the end zone, overthrows everybody, incomplete. Indiana's taking another timeout. Wow. I don't know. I like Signetti. But down to one timeout with 9:27 in the fourth quarter when you're leading only by 3 points. I don't know. I don't know about that one. Oh, shit. Indiana's going to go for it here. Woo! Big moment. Big moment here in the national championship game for college football. Indiana currently leads by 3 points. They are currently on... Yeah, where are they? On a 12, I think? Yeah. So it's going to be 4th down and 4 from the 12. They have to get to the 8. Mendoza's going to pull it down. He's going to run it himself, and he gets the first down. And on his feet, touchdown, Indiana! Fernando Mendoza would not be denied. And Indiana now takes a 23-14 lead pending the extra point. Fernando Mendoza got pinballed around, took hits, and would not go down, and then outstretched and crossed the goal line for the touchdown as he gets hit in the spleen, in the kidneys, in his jejunum. All of his organs turned to liquid. He didn't give a shit. He might have shit himself, but he got the touchdown, and that's what matters. Extra point is up. It is good. Signetti says, screw the timeout if we can get the touchdown, and they did. 24-14, a 10-point lead for Indiana with 9:18 remaining in the game. Woo-hoo, doggy. ELS in the chat says, Hoosiers? Fernando Mendoza's mom looks like she is having an aneurysm watching her son play, and that's understandable completely. I Grow Fighting says Indiana could have 5 timeouts. It's just delaying the inevitable. The U is back. I Grow Fighting is very big on the Miami Hurricanes, and that's good for you, I Grow Fighting. That's fantastic. I am not the biggest Miami fan. Never have quite been. I don't know why. Why that personally would be. I don't know if there's just something I have against Miami for the last 40, 50 years. It could be. I haven't even been alive for 50 years, but there could be something that's just there's inherent dislike I have for the Miami Hurricanes. So I'm trying to call this as fairly as I am. I got very excited and had the same call when Miami crossed in for a touchdown as well. And that's the key. You got to know that. But also, just, maybe the U isn't back. Maybe they're here just on a temporary stay. Maybe they're on a temporary visa and they're about to be sent back. I don't know. Either way, Indiana 24, Miami 14, 10-point lead, 9:18 remaining here. Miami gets the ball back. Big drive coming up here, both offensively and defensively. Offensively for Miami, boy, they are down 10 points. They want to make sure that they can try to jump back and get right back into this game. Indiana with the 10-point lead. If they get a defensive stop here, whoo boy, whoo boy. We'll see. I Grow Fighting in the chat says down by 10, winning by 6. I wonder, how does that, I don't think you have enough possessions to do that. I don't know about that. I mean, maybe. I don't know. You know what? I'm glad that you remind me kind of like those the Stranger Things kids at the end of the season. It's all sitting around a D&D table just being like, I believe. You know what? You hold on to that belief. You keep believing 11 is alive. I'm with you, I Grow Fighting. Believe. Believe in Santa. Believe in our current tax code. Believe in your local politician. And believe that Miami will win by 6 points. If you just believe. So we know Tom Brady, Mark Davis, and some of the Raiders brass are here at this game. Oh! What do we got a flag for? We got a flag down. And we got another flag here. Looks like it's going to be a hold against Miami, which is going to put them in an even worse spot than where they were. Holding on Miami. ELS. That's kind of funny. ELS with a fun little stat here. Conference championship game appearances since 1997. Jimmy Garoppolo now in his 7th, as he is he's the emergency quarterback for the Rams, right? Or he's just the backup quarterback. Yeah, he's the backup quarterback for the Rams. Dallas Cowboys 0. Actually, no. The Cowboys they didn't make it in 96. They didn't make the 96 season they didn't make it. They made it in the 95 season. The last time they made it was the 95 season. Carson Beck back. He's got time to throw. He does finally dump it off here. And that's going to be Malachi Tone. And that's going to be a 9-yard gain. So Indiana's defense is doing well, but they just can't get to Beck. And, he's got time to throw this ball around. Hand off here to Fletcher, and Fletcher's going to get 3 yards. He gets pushed back, but he's going to get it up to the 20-yard line. 1st and 10 for Miami. Yeah, it's kind of funny, ELS. Back, looking to throw again. All day to throw the ball. I mean, there is a lot of holding going on there. Throws incomplete. 2nd and 10 coming up for the Miami Hurricanes. 8:03 remaining on the clock. Second and 10. Beck with the boy. I think somebody said he looks like a white Somalian. Beck, huge ball down the field. They're going to say incomplete. It hit the ground. Oh, he did a great job of selling that. Keelan Martin was the intended receiver, and I for a second thought he had it. But the officials, let's see. He goes up. Oh, yeah, it was over by his hip. He did a great job of selling. I'll give him that. As he comes down, yeah, that's way out. Yeah. He did a hell of a job trying to sell it. 3rd and 10, 7:55 remaining from their own 20. And we got flags down. This is going to be full start on Miami, putting himself 5 yards further back. That's a full start. That's the signal. Oh, I punched the mic doing that. I shouldn't do that. But that's a full start. Can't do that because it's a start. That's false. I dub thee false. Untrue. That start, the beginning you had, was untrue. Move thyself back 5 yards by measurements of the king. Beck throws over the middle. That's actually going to be caught. Holy shit. First down, Miami. $22-yard gain by Alex Bauman, the tight end. Wow. And yes, it was a 22-yard gain, so there you go. There's Taylor. Everybody have fun. Beck takes the snap, throws. That's going to be caught. Malachi Tony at the 50. Now he's at the 40. Oh, he is breaking it all the way down inside the 25 of Indiana. First down, 41-yard pass for Malachi Tony, and it's going to be 1st and 10 from the Indiana 22-yard line. Taylor gets to go right back up there. That's fantastic. ELS says, hey, we're still under 10 flags. Yeah, if the referees threw a flag on every play that deserved a flag, we would have about 38 flags right now. They have let so much shit go in this game. Holding on every play, pass interference nearly on every play. The refs have been they have decided to say, screw it, let them play. Throw, bounced around, falls to the ground. Incomplete. 2nd and 10 coming up from the 22-yard line for the Hurricanes. Hand off to Malachi Tony. He's going to break it loose to the 10, to the 5. Touchdown, Miami. How are we not throwing flags on some of these holds on the blocks that they have? My God. Touchdown, Miami Hurricanes. Malachi Tony at the 22-yard. Right, I guess they were on the 22, so yeah, there you go. Taylor again. We just see her again. I mean, that's some nuts stuff there. I hated that game too because I hated both Ohio State and Miami. So the fact that one was bad. Either way, That is going to be a 20-24 game. Extra point is up, and it is good. And so Miami is now within 3 points yet again, 21-24. The Indiana Hoosiers get the ball next. There is 6 minutes and 32 seconds left in this game. Can Indiana be a couple of clock suckers here? Can they really just be good professional clock suckers? Or is Miami going to have a chance to win this game? We're going to find out here in a moment as Pepper Jack walks by me in disgust after I talk about sucking clock with her glass of milk. I love you, Bubba. How are you getting the winning by 6, though? That's what I want to know. Where are you getting the winning by 6? Because you're down by 3. A touchdown would make you up by 3. The extra point would put you up by 5. And even if you decided to go for 2 and made it, that would put you up by, no. Yeah. 3, 3, 4. 3, 4, 5. Yeah, that's it. So if you get a touchdown, you'd be up by 3. The extra point would put you up by 4. If you go for 2, that would put you up by 5. There's no way you get 6. You're saying, okay, so you're saying that this is going to go to overtime. I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying. So you're saying that you stop Indiana here, you get the ball again, you get in field goal range, kick a field goal, which I don't think Miami would. I think Miami would try to go for the touchdown. The way they've been going in this game and the fact that their kicker already missed a field goal, it just feels like that. It could happen. I hope it doesn't go to overtime because college overtime is the fucking worst. College overtime is the dumbest fucking overtime that's ever been. I'm trying to curse less, but college overtime is retarded. Like legitimately, clinically, DSM-4 or DSM-5, whichever one's the current one, it is clinically retarded. They need to scrap that shit and either have games end in ties or go with the NFL system of just run the full fucking quarters here now. Like the college football overtime is an abomination. No, it is not. No, it is not. Agro Fighting in the chat says we need the college OT. It's so good. It is the worst overtime in any sport. It's worse than the NHL shootout, and I hate the shootout. But the college football overtime is no. Why? No, earn your way to the no. Get rid of it. And then after the first 2 overtimes, it's not even overtimes. It's just can you run it from the 25? Can you run it from the 25 and make it? And if you do, then guess what? Now we're just going to go for 2 points. Everybody from the 3, we're just going to try to go back. Like what nonsense is that? Fucking awful. Play football. Play the game of football, or end the fucking game. None of this bullshit stuff that you're doing, Unbelievable. Same with that's the same to me with the hockey shootout. Get rid of the shootout. That's dumb. That was the dumbest sports overtime until college football overtime came along. The worst. Kick is into the end zone, so Indiana has 1st and 10 from the 25. Can the Heisman winner close the game out? Or will Miami have another chance to either tie or take the lead? Beck is on the sideline looking lost, like he always does. Mendoza breaks the huddle. Indiana 1st and 10. From their own 25, sorry. And off here to Hemby. Hemby's going to get 3 yards on that. 2nd and 7 from the 28-yard line. Igro says, I really do love college overtime more than pro. That's just silly talk. That's just silly. You know why that's silly? Because the professional football overtime is football. The college football overtime is a different sport. It's a different game altogether. And having that determine a winner of a football game is nonsensical. Under 6 minutes to go, 2nd and 7. Mendoza hands this one off. Again, that's going to be another 2-yard gain. 3rd and 5, they're going to give, so I think it's going to be 3rd and 5. Some bands have them. I gross. Some bands. The Redskins have them. Baltimore has one. I'd like to see more in there. I do like the college atmosphere is fun. I like the college football atmosphere. They're going to say 3rd and a long 4 coming up here for Indiana. Can they move the chains and keep the clock running, or will the Miami defense hold? Mendoza looks, throws, caught. That's going to be good. First down up to the 43, 44-yard line. First down. Gain of 15 yards. Move the chains. He's out of bounds. Of course, they stop the clock whenever you make a first down anyway, which that is something I like. I'd like to see that. If we're going to talk about a college rule that I like to see adopted in the pros, is in that, the last 5 minutes whenever they have the timing rules change, have that too. If you get a first down, clock stops until they set the ball, and then once the officials set the ball, then the clock runs. I like that. You'd have a lot more exciting finishes in the NFL. Handoff here, Kalon Black, 5 yards, gets it up to the 50. Right at midfield now are the Indiana Hoosiers. 4:20, smoke it if you got it, remaining here in the fourth quarter. Indiana going to try to milk this clock, suck that clock all the way down as much as they can. iGrow Fighting says Indiana about to give the ball right back. iGrow Fighting, he is seriously hoping and praying for his Miami Hurricanes. That's a handoff to Kalon Black, and that's going to be a 2-yard loss. 3rd and 7 coming up for Indiana on their own 48-yard line now. We are well under 4 minutes left to play. 3:26, 3:25, 3:24 remaining in the fourth quarter. 3rd and 7. Can Indiana move the chains again? Mendoza. Changing protections. Play clock at 3, at 2, at 1. They snap the ball. Mendoza looks, throws, has a man. Caught! And that's down at the 31-yard line. First down, Indiana. Move the chains, and the clock still runs. 2:50, 2:49, 2:48 remaining, and it is running. No, here's the simple thing. Just play the game of football in overtime. That's all. That's all. That's all you do. Handoff here. And Hemby's going to get another first down. That's a gain of 10 yards. That's going to be down to what, the 23, 22? If that, please be at the 22. I want to see Taylor up on my screen. I miss Taylor. They officially put it at the 23. Boo. But we have reached the 2-minute warning here in the national championship game. Indiana with a 3-point lead, 24-21. They have the ball at the 23-yard line, 1st and 10. Miami has all 3 timeouts. ELS in the chat says, big first down. Come on, Indiana. We've got ELS rooting for the Indiana Hoosiers. We have iGrow Fighting rooting for the Miami Hurricanes. Lloyd who was in here before. I think he might be lying around. He could still be around. He was rooting for Miami as well. Well, I don't know if he's rooting for Miami, but he picked Miami to win this game. Let's see what happens here in the final 2 minutes. I Grow Fighting says Miami about to break some hearts. I Grow Fighting, not giving up. Never surrender. I Grow Fighting is dedicated. He's indeed fighting. He's I Grow Fighting. See, I think it's a username, so you can't put like the commas or anything. But I think he's like I grow. How do I grow? By fighting. Fighting against what? The dying of the light. I fight against the losing of hope. Some people might look at things and say, you know what? That's hopeless. I Grow Fighting says, I never give up hope. I never stop. I never stop to fight. What do I fight for? My name is I Grow Fighting. Hope. And I appreciate that, I Grow Fighting. You do you. Keep on doing it. ELS says, boo, we want Taylor. I know. Like, I wish I could have that little headset that goes down to the officials and be like, I know you guys marked it at the 23, but can we nudge that up to the 22 so I can put Taylor up here, please? Thank you. All right. And I know some people are saying, like, King, it's your channel. Why don't you just throw Taylor up there? Why not? Because there are rules, and we live in a society. What kind of person would I be if I say the only reason we put Taylor up here is if we make a 22 or 13 reference? Whether that's a 22-yard gain, if it's on the 22-yard line, if it's on the 13-yard line, if there's 13 points, if there's 22 points, whatever the case is. If it's only 13 and 22 is the only time we see Taylor. And then I just start putting Taylor up willy-nilly. What kind of man does that make me? Can't have that. What kind of nonsense is that? Can't do that. We live in a society. I Grow Fighting 13 because that is Taylor Swift's lucky number, favorite number. That's what she really likes. And 22 because she has a song called 22. I don't know about you, but I'm feeling 22. So I hear 13, it's 13 or 22. Those are the two numbers that if they're referenced, we throw Taylor up on the screen. First and 10 for Indiana. They are at the 23-yard line. Hand off. That's going to be Hemby, and he gets it down to the 13-yard line. No, they're going to mark him short at the 14. 14-yard line, 2nd and 1. And again, if you would have gotten to the 13-yard line, we would have had a reason to put Taylor up there. But no, we got to be a yard short. And Miami takes their first timeout. I mean, you have to at this point. I'm surprised they didn't do that more before the 2-minute warning. Oh, we got movement. We got movement. That makes it 9 flags. Igro says, nice try what? 2nd and 6 after the penalty. Miami's going to take another timeout here. Give him a yard on that. So 3rd and 5 upcoming for Indiana. Waiting to see what happens here. We're having a lot of timeouts here, and for some reason, college timeouts are like 70 minutes. So 3rd and 5 for Indiana. They are back at their 18-yard line, or Miami's 18-yard line. Handoff here to Kalon Black. He's only going to get back to the line of scrimmage. Miami's going to take their last timeout. 1:47 remaining. Indiana's going to try to put 3 more points up on the board here and make it a 6-point game. ELS says, well, ELS, if they got the first down, it would have been over. The penalty killed them. Because you're at 2nd and 1. If you could have gotten that first down on that one, it would have been great. But moving it back to 2nd and 6 really killed you. So here comes Niko Radicic on the field. Snap, hold, kick. That is as dead center as you want it to be. 27-21. 6-point lead and 1 minute, 42 seconds left on the clock. Miami has no timeouts. And they need a touchdown and the extra point. Kick is away. That's going to be into the end zone. Sorry, I was just looking at something. Apologize for that, folks. 1:42 remaining. Kick is in the end zone. So 1st and 10 from the 25 for the Miami Hurricanes. Here we go. Carson Beck breaks the huddle for the Miami Hurricanes. On the 25-yard line. And we got to delay a game coming up on Miami. And that's 5 yards back, moving back to the 20. Cristobal's upset, but you didn't have your team ready. So now 1st and 15 from the 20. Carson Beck takes the snap. He's going to just shovel that. They're going to say incomplete shovel pass or fumble. They're going to say incomplete 2nd and 15. iGrow Fighting says, wow, refs cheating. Where are they cheating? The refs have actually been letting so many things go in this game. I give the refs credit. There should have been 38 flags in this game, 40 flags with all the holding, especially on Miami's offensive line and the pass interference that was going on, honestly, between both teams. So, honestly, if anything, I'll give the refs credit for not throwing as many flags as maybe they should have. Beck back to throw on 2nd and 15. Throws a just off target. Actually threw it between two Indiana receivers, and now we've got somebody's down and we got a flag. Is Beck down? They're going to say roughing the passer on Indiana, 15 yards. And that's going to be an automatic 1st down. So Indiana had them to a 3rd and 15 from their own 20, and now is giving Miami new life. I don't think that's roughing the passer. He literally just let go of the ball, and the player kind of tried to hold up, but he ran into it. Like, I don't know. That's a bad time you're going to start calling the game tight now? So now up at the 35-yard line, Beck takes the snap. Looks, throws over the middle. That's going to be a 1st down, 11-yard gain there by Chamar Brown. Gets it to the 46-yard line. Remember, the clock is ticking. Beck takes the snap. Again, he's got all day to throw. Was that caught? Nope. That was caught. They're going to say that's caught. 2nd down, clock is ticking. 1:09, 1:08, 1:07 remaining. 2nd and 3 from the Indiana 47-yard line. Beck takes the snap, throws wide. That's going to be caught, but inbounds. But it is a 1st down, so the clock will stop until the ball is set. And Indiana calls a timeout here. No timeouts remaining for anybody. '97 had the penalty? That was the guy your sister knows? She's got to cut off any nookie for that guy go moving forward, ELS. Carson Beck has 8 career wins when tied or trailing in the 4th quarter. There's 51 seconds remaining. The ball is in Indiana territory. They're on their 47, I believe. Nope, sorry, 41. First and 10. Beck back, looks, throws, big ball. Intercepted! And Indiana will win the national championship. With 44 seconds remaining, Indiana will kneel on the ball twice, and they will win the national championship. There's flags going to be for over-celebrating. I don't think anybody gives a shit. Beck tried to go for it all, misjudged it. Half the distance, it doesn't matter. Indiana, 2 kneel downs, and it is over. ELS says, yes, let's go Indiana is going to win. Agro Fighting deleted his message about saying, yes, big U. Oh, no. Oh, no. Agro Fighting in the chat says, I knew Indiana would win. Who's your fan for life? I love Agro Fighting. I love him. He's the best. I don't know what everybody's talking about. There is no textual evidence about anything else. Hoosiers? I don't know what anybody's talking about. What do you mean? What do you mean? What are you talking about? What are you talking about? Oh, I love it. I love all of it. Oh, and the Indiana Hoosiers are going to end up winning their first national championship. Curt Cignetti, in his second year at Indiana, is going to win the national championship. The ball is placed at the 1.5-yard line after the penalty. And there it is. It is over. Ladies and gentlemen, it is a final, and the Indiana Hoosiers have won the national championship game. Congratulations to Indiana, to all the Indiana alums, all the Indiana Hoosier fans. This is something I don't think anybody ever thought they would ever see, unless you were playing NCAA college football back in the day. Or even with some of the new games that they just came out with a couple of years ago when they brought back EA Sports College Football. This seems like a scene that you would only see there. Indiana winning a national championship? Are you out of your mind? Are you crazy? But here we are. The Indiana Hoosiers football team. Not basketball. Indiana, not just a basketball school anymore. The Indiana Hoosiers are your 2025 season national champions. Curt Cignetti is the first. Oh, they took the. There was a thing on there, and I missed it because they didn't show it. Wow. Agro Fighting says, GG. Yeah, man, good. I mean, that was a hell of a game. That was a fun game. I'm glad it's a lot closer than I thought it was going to be, because I thought Indiana was going to run away with it. That was my guess, was like, oh boy, Indiana's going to run away with this. I guess not. Peace to you, Agro Fighting. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. There's my training partner fights on Amazon Prime this Friday. His name is Chase Mann on One Championship. If you all get bored, tune in. Absolutely, we will. Check that out. Chase Mann on the One Championship fighting that's going to be on Amazon Prime this Friday, says Agro Fighting. As Agro Fighting is trying to grow fighting. He literally is his name. Agro Fighting. He is trying to grow fighting. Thank you so much. So if you want to check that out, Chase Mann is the man's name, and he will be fighting on Amazon Prime. One Championship coming up this Friday, if you want to check that out. What a game. Again, hell of a game. I didn't think it was going to be that good. I thought Indiana was going to roll all over them. Turns out I was wrong, and I'm glad I was. I'm glad we had an exciting game. I'm glad it was back and forth. I'm glad it came down to that last drive. I mean, those are the best. Those are the best games. I'm sure other people, when you're rooting for your team, you wish that they were blowing another team out so you didn't have the heart attack. You didn't have to worry about it. But for everybody else watching, when you don't have a dog in the fight, it's like, I just want to have a good game, and that's what that was. That was an absolutely great game, a classic. Fernando Mendoza, here's the thing. If you're the Raiders, again, the Raiders personnel is there. Mark Davis is there. Tom Brady is there. Looking at Fernando Mendoza. Now, again, the Raiders are one of the teams that have been talked about maybe trading for Lamar Jackson. If you're watching this game, if you're the Raiders, do you still look at maybe trading for Lamar Jackson, or do you say, you know what, we can build a franchise around this kid here, Fernando Mendoza, and say, you know what, we're gonna draft him? I can't believe I am living in a timeline where the Indiana Hoosiers are the football national champions. I'll say that just watching the interview here with Mendoza, he speaks like a CEO. He really does. He's got that corporate speak down. He's going to be great at NFL press conferences. He knows already what he's doing. The Hoosiers, they got the 62% in our poll tonight of who was going to raise the giant college football playoff, or dildo football playoff, as I had it, the Golden Dildo Trophy. Because, again, that's just a weird choice. You could have done so much better with that. That's kind of like a reverse Bad Dragon there. ELS is he wants to play ABBA's Fernando. ELS he's already calling out the celebratory songs that might be hitting some of the clubs down there on South Beach tonight. As Indiana will celebrate. Will they celebrate on South Beach? Will they celebrate back home in Indiana? If I'm some of the players, I'm like, let me hit some of the clubs here for a second. Let me, there's some fine Miami honeys down here. Let's hit up here for a little bit. But either way, congratulations to the University of Indiana. By the way, the first 2 years of this expanded playoffs, Indiana has been represented twice in the national championship game. Once last year with the University of Notre Dame, and now this year with Indiana University. Is Purdue going to be there next year? Hey, listen, we just saw the Indiana Hoosiers win the national championship. Anything is possible for any team out there. If you don't believe it, just look at that. Look at this. Here's a graphic. Whoever thought that this graphic would ever be seen anywhere? Indiana, national champions. And it's not basketball. This ain't March Madness here. That is incredible. That in and of itself is incredible. ELS says, hopefully, the Badgers. And we'll see, maybe. But right now, it is, I got to tell you, I am literally, as AC/DC would say, I am a little bit thunderstruck. Whew. What a game. Indiana, they are your national champions, 27-21 over the University of Miami Hurricanes. Again, thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen, for joining us here tonight on Stay Tuned Sports. If you liked anything that you saw on here, that you watched on here, any of our content, I don't know why you would. There's really nothing here that's fun. Like I said before, this is a purely horrible, amateurish operation here. But if you do like anything, please hit that like button. It helps us out tremendously. Please go ahead, hit that share button. Share us with the world. Let the world know that this channel exists. That's a massive help for us here. And, of course, if you haven't done so already, or this is your first time here, please hit that subscribe button and the notification bell as we're on the road to 1,000 subscribers. to hopefully be monetized here on this great and glorious platform known as YouTube. Again, as some people might try to hide why they're here, listen, I'm here because I would like this channel to become profitable. I would like to make money off this channel. Why? Just doing my goofy ass shit. That's the other thing too. I would hope to make a little bit of money while like just being some fat dumb bastard talking about sports on here. That's all. That's all. Am I super analytical? Am I anything like that? No. Can I be a little bit entertaining? I think maybe. I think perhaps. I think probably. Because who wants to, like, you can go and find your analytical shit everywhere. Everybody's got their own little niche. Everybody already has all that shit. What do I got? I'm going to all of a sudden break into that? I'm not doing any of that shit. I don't know what. And plus, half the time, it's going to end up being wrong, or you're going to be super analytical, and it's going to be like, well, it doesn't really matter any. So I just talk about what I see and what I feel at that time, and we move on with that. And a lot of times, it's super wrong, but also can be fun and entertaining. And I certainly hope that my stupidity helps you be entertained. And that's really all we're looking to do here. But thank you so very much for joining us. We will see you. I don't know when next. I don't know if I got any videos or anything planned. I'd like to start doing more produced videos somehow. I don't know what I'm going to do with that. Maybe I'll have, maybe I'll throw Pepper Jack on here with me a couple times. Yeah, everybody wants to see Pepper Jack. Everybody wants to hang out with the Pepper Jack. Maybe we'll do that. I would say at the very least, you're going to see me on here on Friday for the Friday forecast when we will talk about who is going to win the AFC and NFC championship games and who will be going to Super Bowl 60. So we'll have that for you on Friday, at least if there's not anything before then. So at least until Friday, maybe sooner. We don't know. We'll figure it out. My name is King. This has been Stay Tuned Sports. Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen, for joining us. And you have a great rest of your Monday evening, whatever's left of it. And again, enjoy the rest of your week.